We're live, guys.
Oh, is it live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Boom. And we're live, ladies and gentlemen.
He wanted a picture quick.
We're here with the great and powerful Jimmy Smith. Welcome to the UFC, Jimmy Smith.
Thank you so much.
Official,
great to be here officially.
Official. We wanted to talk about it last time when you were on the podcast, but we had to dance around it.
It's so many people wrote me and were like, Joe really here? I go, hey, man, Joe's a pro. But you hinted well. We danced around it quite a bit.
Nobody totally knew. And, of course, the great and powerful Eddie Bravo.
Yo, yo, yo.
Bryan Callen's on the way, but he's bringing wine and cheese. He insists on wine and cheese. He thinks he's at some fucking cocktail party where they're going to compare scripts. That's Bryan. He's got to have his wine and cheese. Duho Choi versus Jeremy Stephens is the main event. If you've never heard one of these podcasts before, this is a fight companion podcast, which means we're going to watch the fights. Most likely we'll talk about the fights, but we might not. We could talk about whatever the fuck. Like Eddie and I, we've gone through the entire podcast. We never talked about the fight until like the last round of the main event. But Missouri division of oh, they're in Missouri. Is this St. Louis? That's what it is, right?
Yeah, and they haven't adopted the ABC rules. That's important for the judging, at least, for sure.
They haven't adopted those in Nevada, which is real weird.
It's crazy.
Man. Look how good Michael Johnson looks at 45. And Eddie was saying that it's racist to say that, but I don't think it is. Look how shredded he is.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good weight class for him.
Yeah.
I think, just those Habib Nurmagomedovs, those giant 55s that could just grapple fuck you and beat your brains in. He had enough of that after that fight.
Yeah.
He's like, that's about enough of this weight class.
When people remember how much the other guy talked to Dana White while he was beating my ass, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad. And he's a great fighter, and that's what's so funny about it is.
Well, this was supposed to be the main event on the prelims, but Uriah Hall and Vitor Belfort fell out, really unfortunately, which is a fucking bummer. Apparently, Uriah Hall was like on death's door trying to make weight. But he had like gotten sick, I had heard, during training. He was having some real issues. He said his body shut down about 3 weeks out. A lot of people out here dealing with that fucking flu.
And then Robert Follis, his coach, died.
Yeah,
who was a great guy, by the way. If you ever met Robert, he was fantastic.
Bummer.
But mentally, he was just going through a lot of stress.
Yeah,
and that'll kill your cut too.
Yeah, Robert killed himself.
Yeah,
and so did his brother. It's such a bummer. That guy's a nice fucking guy.
Loved him.
He was such a good dude. Such a bummer, man.
Yeah.
So instead, this fight, which was going to be on the prelims, I'm excited about this fight, though, because Darren Elkins is some sort of a different kind of human. That guy takes fucking punishment like nobody. Eddie Bravo looking for marijuana?
No.
We have plenty of that.
No.
It's okay. We don't.
No.
we can. This is a free world. We live in California.
I don't drink anymore.
At all?
Nope. No
That's
more
it?
drinking.
Wow.
No more caffeine. I'm on intermittent fasting.
You look good, dude. Your face looks good.
Thank
you
you.
look
But
slim.
but I'm not giving this away.
Yeah, don't give that away.
I mean, giving it up. Sorry.
Giving it up. Don't give it up. Don't give it away. So how long has it been since the booze?
I decided initially that I would only allow myself to drink like if I did a set somewhere or if I did at the 10 Planet holiday party I allowed myself to drink, but that was the last time. It's been about a month and a half since I've had a drink.
Interesting. How you feel?
I feel great.
Like it?
I don't need alcohol.
No, you don't need alcohol. It just gets you in trouble. Makes you say some shit.
No more Indian.
No more Indian. The Indian's out. Now you're smoking the peace pipe.
Yeah. No more Indians.
Jimmy Smith, you smoke the reefer?
Every now and then.
Every now
It's
and
been a long
then.
time.
You
know what's
probably have
funny?
a little puff just to celebrate.
Yeah, just celebrate. But the thing to me is a little known personal fact. I've never had a drink in my life.
Ever?
What?
Ever in my life.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
amazing.
Yeah, most people don't know that.
So what the fuck do you blame your fuck-ups on? You need,
nothing. I have no excuses for my behavior.
That's terrible.
None.
Well, you've been hitting the head of gang.
I have been hitting the head.
Yeah, that's
more
a good
than once.
excuse.
Yeah.
Speaking of hitting the head, the world title, Stipe and Francis, they're showing the preview for it right now. Good fucking.
That's gonna be fantastic.
Googly moogly. I've never been more excited for a heavyweight title fight ever.
Dude's a freak.
Oh, he's the freakiest. They're the freakiest. He's a 1 in a million athlete. Like, if you think there's 320 million people in this country, how many Ngannous are there? If there's 300, I'd be fucking stunned. I don't even think I think it's more than 1 in a million. Like, a guy who's built like that.
Don't you
6
think
foot.
He's been training 3 years or something.
There's probably a whole shitload.
5 years total. Yeah.
Was homeless 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Dude, worked in a sand mine as a kid, like a goddamn character in a Robert E. Howard comic book. Like digging sand as a kid.
Robert E. Howard. That's all. He wrote Conan, by the way, guys. If you're not a comic book dork.
Just growing with his anger and his
pushing that thing.
Strength.
Schwarzenegger pushing the
wheel.
the log, the wheel forever, the grinder.
I mean, what better workout is there for a young guy who wants to beat the fuck out of people than digging sand all day, just carrying sand, all back and legs and arms? I mean, think about how much strength is required to just fucking dig sand all the time.
There's places that they're called sandbox workouts or something like that.
Yeah,
Have you heard about those?
Well, you dig sand.
Maybe they start doing that.
But
maybe Ngannou opens up a chain of sand training or something.
But we were just talking about before we got on headset. Guys who are comfortable, who have money, who have another career, who have a fallback. It's hard to be 100% committed. This dude was digging sand, homeless.
Yeah.
You're never more committed to winning. If I don't win, I don't eat, man.
Yeah.
And that motivation. It's the strongest, most powerful thing in the world when it comes to fighting.
The crazy thing about that dude is he has so much to learn still. 5 years of MMA training. I mean, his ground game is very rudimentary. He's trying to stuff takedowns. He's freakish strong. He's got real good training. He's at the UFC Performance Institute, so he's training with real good guys on a daily basis. But man, I mean, a lot to grow.
I was told he's there all the time.
Yeah, he lives there practically. Look how shredded Michael Johnson is. Jesus Christ. He's fucking shredded at 45.
Ngannou fought Fabricio Werdum?
No.
Okay.
He fought Arlovsky, and then he knocked out Overeem, and then they said, you got it. You got the title shot. When he put Overeem in orbit, everybody was like, okay, this is the only fight anybody wants to see.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I mean, who the fuck? And what a story.
And Stipe's run has cleared out a lot of guys. It's just that you need that fresh face, you need that knockout guy, and then Stipe's chasing history.
Yeah.
Those things come together right at the right time.
The crazy thing, the history is only 2 title defenses.
It's nuts.
The entire history of the UFC's heavyweight division, it's only been defended twice. No one's ever done it 3 times. Isn't that nuts?
And it's the first title.
Yeah.
First title was heavyweight.
Yeah.
Think about that.
That's right.
That's crazy.
Right. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Michael Johnson shredded. He's got a fucking 36-pack.
There's a lot of jealousy in your face. Can you see? Can they see your face
not
right
jealousy,
now?
it's admiration.
Well, so bad.
Admiration and maybe a bit of want. Like, I want to have abs like that, but I wouldn't say jealousy. I'm happy that he made this. I'm happy that he made the drop, because I always felt like he was a little soft at 55. I always felt like he should have looked like this. You know, I mean, this dude's lean as fuck. And he hits so hard and he's so fast. I think at 45 he's going to be a monster. I think this is a big move for him. I'm a big fan of this guy, man. You know, and he hurt Nurmagomedov in that fight, too. He's the first guy to put Nurmagomedov in trouble. People forget he starched Justin Poirier, KO'd him. Michael Johnson's a bad motherfucker. The problem when you get in there with a guy like Nurmagomedov and he beats your ass that bad, you're like, well, how the fuck am I ever going to beat this guy?
Yeah.
You know, like this.
It'll move you.
Yeah.
Every major move, most major moves in MMA are due to a beatdown. Yeah. They're due to usually getting manhandled by somebody who's natural at that weight class or big for that weight class.
Or if it's not a move that way, it's a move to a do camp. It's like I got to train with Faraz Sahabi or go to Matt Hume or go to one of the wizards, someone who's going to revamp my shit. You see a lot of that, you know? But it's oftentimes too late. It's such a crazy fucking sport, because while you're training for a fight, you kind of have to be training for the fight. You can't really take too many chances and learn too much new shit.
That's, when you talk to trainers, old school guys, that's one of the things they say about Mike Tyson is he fought so much, he didn't develop enough. He just wasn't in the gym that much.
Right.
He was fighting every, twice a month in his prime when he was younger.
So here we go, 452, 51, 450, 449 of the first round if you're trying to sync it up. Michael Johnson and Darren Elkins. And Darren Elkins, here's a guy who made a big move when he went to Alpha Male. It's made a huge impact on him. He looks way more polished, way smoother the way he moves. You really saw that in the Mirsad Bektik fight. That was a crazy fight, because that was a fight where he was way underdog, like by a big margin for a good reason.
Man, he's hurt already.
He's getting hurt. Yeah, he's getting tagged. Let's see if Michael Johnson goes after him before he stays patient.
I always think, whenever I see a guy at 35-45 from Alpha Male, I always think
Ooh.
When they call them and go, well, we need a guy at 45, for you to get that call, you got to be beastly because they have a lot of those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their whole team.
Oh, Michael Johnson just tagged
hurting
him with
him
the
again.
left. He's fast, man. At 45, very fast.
And he's rangy. He's getting good extension on his punches.
Yeah, and at 45 is going to be enjoying that even more. A good height, reach advantage. He just looks perfectly built for the weight class.
And he has a speed. A lot of people don't realize when you drop a weight class, those guys are a hell of a lot faster.
Oh, yeah.
And he has the speed to keep up with those guys. A lot of them don't.
Yeah. And I think he's probably going to be even faster at 45.
Yeah.
Oh, he dinged him with that left hand. That
leg went out on him.
Oh. This is a good fight already. Oh, he tagged him again.
Yeah, Elkins hasn't really figured it out. He's waiting on him.
Well, he's just a step slower for sure, and just not nearly as smooth a striker. Elkins relies on his ability to take tremendous punishment and his heart and his endurance, where he just never stops at this pace. And if you start to slip, ooh, sweet left hand. Ooh.
Problem is, that's a tough thing to rely on in this business. The way MMA is now. Oh, I'm a tough guy. Well,
welcome to the club.
Yeah.
There's like 500 tough guys in the UFC.
It's tough.
Shit, we got tough girls.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Fucking Holly Holm. How about that fight? Wow. The amount of punishment that she took against Cyborg.
Crazy.
She kept getting cracked. So, Eddie Bravo, that's it for now. For alcohol, that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
I think that's a good move, man. I'm happy for you.
Thank you. It was doing nothing for me.
What prompted it? If you don't mind me asking, was there something that prompted it? Was it just like no experience?
I just found myself going every night. Same thing. I get home after training and I'll have a glass of wine and watch some Netflix. And there's been a lot of great shows lately, so I've been finding myself drinking like 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
And then I go to the airport and I'm bored. I'll have a couple glasses of wine, and then it just one day I thought, man, I'm turning into an alcoholic over here. What's going on? I was drinking because I was bored.
Yeah.
So I thought, too old for that shit, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's just bad for your body, man. It just
is. There's no need for it.
I like a glass of wine with a meal, but man, every time I've gotten drunk, the next day I've just been disappointed with myself. Oh shit! Bryan Callen's here, ladies and gentlemen, with wine and cheese, like some sort of a party.
Hey, how you doing, man?
You know Jimmy?
Your podcast. No, I listen to you guys.
Jimmy Smith just met Bryan
Very
Callen
nice to
for the
meet you.
first time. La la la. Do we need a wine bottle opener here? Oh, Eddie doesn't drink anymore.
And I don't drink either, so only half.
Yeah,
only
we
half.
just got done
this
talking
side of the
about
table
this.
doesn't drink.
We're just gonna watch you get hammered. And drive
Never
home.
I
have.
can't handle red wine anymore. I'm getting older, but I got some good red wine.
Jesus Christ, everybody's complaining about getting older and not being able to handle booze. We're watching Darren Elkins and Michael Johnson here. It's in the first round, and so far, Michael Johnson's looks smooth as butter.
Dude,
at 145
real nice.
pounds. Bam, that left hand's finding a home. Elkins is taking on the chin, though. Elkins still in it.
Now, once again, this is one of those maybe ABC, it's 10-8. Non-ABC, probably go 10-9.
Right.
They haven't adopted new rules.
Do you think that would be 10-8, though?
No, but it could be. I'm not saying it is.
Right.
I'm saying with the new rules that they're just a lot more common.
Man,
I think the actual rule, and please, someone out there, correct me if I'm wrong. If someone clearly, if they win two aspects of the fight,
Ooh, he just hit him with another left hand.
and he's certainly landing the significant strikes,
Well,
and he's the aggressor.
Yeah.
So you could.
He certainly has a clear advantage, and I would like to see rounds like that, but Jimmy, I think we need a better score system. I think the 10-point system from boxing is goofy. I just don't think we need it. I think we need like a 100-point score system that takes into account submission attempts, takedown attempts, defense, takes into account leg kicks, knees, elbows, punches, all those things quantified. The impact of those techniques, how hard they're hitting, how close the choke is, how close the arm bar is, how good the defense is. Like all those things should be taken into consideration, and I think we should have more than 3 judges. I think having 3 judges is fucking foolishness. Why 3 people? I think you have way more of a likelihood of having some bullshit decision if there's only 3 people. I think if you have 20 experts or people online, little cheese, buddy.
Okay, keep talking. I'm listening.
20 experts, maybe,
I'm an
maybe
aristocrat.
even open
Sure.
it up to people online, like have a select few people.
Wisdom of the crowd.
How
People
about
that you really respect.
how about knockout only MMA? Right?
A lot of people die.
There's no points.
How
there's
long
no,
do you want the fights to go to?
No points,
Guys
no
be dropping
judges.
just-
And if it goes the distance and there's still not a knockout, they get they get to cold cock each other back and forth until
Like a
someone gets
soccer
Eddie
knocked out.
Bravo wants us to go back to ancient Rome, basically.
Cold cock.
like a soccer match. I always
Yeah.
felt
Free
soccer was
kicks.
crazy. That free kick at the end. I'm
Yeah,
like, this
it's-
is nuts.
Have you seen
You
that-
work
that
so
game?
hard to
Dude,
get to
how
a
cool?
position.
How cool would that be? Knockout only. Come on.
It'd be so ridiculous.
You'd watch it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would watch
Have
it.
you seen that game in Afghanistan where they're
how you
on
pronounce that.
horseback on teams and they essentially have a goat, a dead goat, and the side, and they play with whips, and the side that can get the goat into the goal is the winner.
Oh,
Have you seen
Elkins
this?
gets a takedown.
The horses die in that game.
Oh,
And goats,
Oh.
I'm sure. Plenty of
The
goats.
goat is well dead.
Wow.
Elkins with the takedown here. This
So-
changes things.
We're going back to this goat thing. By the way, we're going. I know this is.
It's an exciting part of
It's
the
the,
game.
it's the exciting part, but
I thought it was Darren Till at first.
Oh, hammer fist by Elkins here.
yeah, he does kind of look like Dylan.
Who, Elkins does?
I don't know, at first. I
Elkins
I was
has
watching- I
fought
was-
in the UFC forever, and you're going to compare him to Till? Till just got here.
I'm saying his
No,
face,
to
like
Brian.
oh, yeah.
How dare you?
I don't know.
They
I'm
need
kinda
to get-
crazy like that. I
They
say
need to
crazy
get
things.
Darren Till a fucking fight. Jesus Christ.
He's scary.
He is scary.
I was
But
just
wanna be
watching the
scared.
cowboy fight. I was just watching it.
My God.
Yeah,
Do you know Vinny
I've had
Shorman?
to study a lot this week.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because, like, I watch UFC all
Yeah.
the time, but there's a huge difference between watching fights and studying fights. And
yeah.
I have been studying. That's what I'm supposed to do basically all night tonight, but I'm here.
Dude, I was thinking that
I'll
when,
study when I get home.
when I knew that you got the gig, because
Yeah.
I was like, if I had to call Bellator, I'd be fucked.
Yeah.
Like, I just, there's too many people. I don't know who the fuck they
Yeah,
are.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Jimmy, you want a little manchego cheese?
I would love some cheese. That's fantastic.
He'll eat cheese, but he won't
cheese.
drink your fucking
I don't
dirty
drink,
wine.
but I'll have
Well, the
cheese.
kid looks like he's in shape. I'll tell you that much.
Which one? Elkins or?
No, I'm talking about Jimmy here.
Oh,
He's got
Jimmy's in
some arms on him.
shape.
Kid's got some arms on him.
He's a jiu-jitsu black
first
belt,
thing I
my
said.
friend, for real.
Black belt, poha. Yeah, I went back to training this week, really, for the first time.
Crucifix.
It sucks.
Look at this. Mounted crucifix for Elkins. And, oh, look at this. Elkins gets the back. 3 minutes to go. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Imagine if Elkins spoils the big 145-pound party from Michael Johnson.
Would not be the first time.
It would not be the
Nope.
first time. You can't fucking sleep on this guy. He's such an animal.
He has a better body, though.
So,
Oh, damn it.
Oh, shit.
Might have it.
He's under the chin.
How'd that happen?
Oh, shit. He's
That's
going to go
over.
to sleep.
It's over.
He tapped. Oh.
Wow.
Oh,
Damn.
Darren Elkins is a fucking savage. God damn, that dude's a savage.
Took the punches and came back, man.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Darren Elkins is a fucking savage. Woo!
He got teed off on in the first round.
God damn, want to come back.
Yeah, Brian, you missed the teeing off part that makes this finish so extraordinary.
His face
You weren't
looked
here for it.
very...
It's just you can't
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
can't
sure.
count this guy out. He's just
No.
such a fucking mutant. He's such an animal. Look at this. Takes the back. I was like, oh, I didn't want to get too excited. I was like, yeah, he got his back, but I don't want to get too excited here. Is this gonna get crazy?
That was a high level move because some
good.
people would have jumped on the back and kind of just volunteered to like be a backpack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he pulled him back. That's
Look at
that's a
that.
high level move right there.
What do you mean he pulled
He
him back?
didn't jump on him. He pulled
He
him
pulled
back.
him into his hips.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
he
if you
didn't just
jump
try
on
to
him,
hang
you're
on
too
to
high.
him.
Because
Coming down.
people
So he brought him in.
Controlled
Brought him
him.
in. Yeah.
Sometimes people they feel when they jump on the back, they want to be on the back but on top, and they're trying to force being on the back on top. But it's way easier just to pull them back, and you're on their back, but you're on your back as well. Some people feel uncomfortable there because if they spin, now they're on your guard. But if you have a high level rear naked choke, you just take the easy route, pull them back, and just finish them off your back. Finishing
And
a
that's
rear
a very
naked.
hard thing to defend against because I see a lot of guys who can defend for a long time.
Look at the hips. If they show it again, when he had his hips all the way in,
Yeah.
and what happens is that stretches your core out, and
Right.
so it's
So it's exhausting.
You're not,
Yeah, he
yeah,
had
well,
the
it's
body
exhausting, but you
triangle.
also can't curl up and protect your neck.
And he had the
because your
body
whole body's
triangle the
stretched.
wrong side. He had the body triangle
he
on the
did.
bottom. He still squoze his
If
shit
you can
out
hold,
of
if
it.
you can keep it, it works.
Fuck,
Yeah, some
man.
people don't need to switch it.
Yeah,
Fuck,
some people can really hold that thing.
Well, I think for him it was just like he had it. He's arching his back. He had it locked in. He wasn't going to give up that spot and try to switch legs. Fuck, that's amazing.
Guys are getting really
idea.
good at spinning inside of body triangles. There's there's technique to that.
Really?
Yep.
What do you do?
If you can get their choking arm on the other side, like in a baseball grip, like I got your left arm on the side. Like
and which
that,
side is the body triangle on?
It doesn't matter. Now you just got to really focus on putting your shoulders on the mat, and you're controlling his arm.
Okay.
And then you slowly, inch by inch, you turn your hips, and you're losing it. The guy still has the body triangle on, but inch by inch, you're holding the wrist and you're turning around. Boom, and then one big explosion, and you're in the guard.
So holding the 2-on-1 on the arm, the choking arm is big.
Yes,
the baseball
that's
back.
huge. That's huge. Otherwise, he's going to be all over your neck. When you do that, you freeze him.
You had to know that somebody was going to come up with a technique to beat that, or to try to mitigate that.
Well, the technique really is not letting it happen in the first place. Because in the very beginning, at 10th Planet, like right away, I was so into body triangles and doing D-sevs.
D-sev? What's that?
It's just a neck crank.
Okay. Dan Severn.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
but
you call them D-sevs?
You call them D-sevs. But anytime I would put on a body triangle, I wouldn't even think about a rear naked choke anymore. I'm like, that's too hard. I'm just gonna get on my side, put you on your side, and just connect my hands around your head somehow. Anyway, and then I fall forward and I crush. It's a D-sev, old move. Remember Beast?
Yes.
Beast never rear naked choke anybody. He'd always get to the back, put a body triangle on, and go D-sev on him. He didn't even know how to do a rear naked choke. He had gaping holes in his game. anyways, what ended up happening was we were all about body triangles in the beginning, and they were so dangerous. Like if someone put a body triangle on me, I know I'm done. If all you think about is a neck crank instead of the rear naked choke, you just focus on the D-sev, you don't need a rear naked choke. It's done ski. So in the very beginning, the first defensive move when someone takes your back was always don't let them put the goddamn body triangle on. That was the first move. That's everybody's first move. Don't let it get. If he's got your back, don't let him get the hooks. If he has one hook, don't let him get two hooks. If he puts both hooks, you better not let him put a body triangle in.
And then, but you're also having to protect against your neck.
Yes, of course. But there's things you do like what you end up doing is as soon as someone takes your back, you put him in like a reverse quarter guard. You trap one of his legs and you escape from that. That way there's no body triangle ever going to happen. Right. So if that is your first move, it's in your DNA where someone takes your back and you take his leg out the mix because you're already worried about that body triangle, then the body triangles become very hard to get. Really, really hard to get. When the guy whose back has been taken, if that is his focus on stopping that, it's very hard to put it in. So what ended up happening for 10th Planet is we went away from the body triangles because I saw that, damn, I'm not going to focus all this time on the D-sevs when most of the time we're not even getting the body triangle. So we got to focus on rear naked chokes with just the leg hooks in, just like Marcelo Garcia. So we shifted away from the body triangle, and I wanted everyone to focus on just good old-fashioned traditional rear naked choke with both hooks in and get really good from there. And the body triangle and the D-sev, that's like extra. Don't rely on it. But what ended up happening is everyone's first defensive move it wasn't attack one of his legs and put it in reverse quarter guard. We went away from that because the necessity wasn't there anymore. Do you follow me? Am I losing you?
No, I understand what you're saying.
So now,
which it just shows how complex jiu-jitsu is, and you're constantly having to make these adjustments and
now we're going back.
positions.
Now we're going way back because of EBI overtime, where we start guys on their back and in our shootout overtime rounds. The game has grown so much just from getting good at those rounds, just spending a lot of time at dissecting the offense, and the armbar position, and the rear naked choke. The essence of jiu-jitsu.
Have you considered any other positions that you would allow people to do other than those two?
No.
Those two are good enough?
Yeah. There have been people will suggest, why don't you have a mount one or whatever. No. Just nice and super crazy basic, something that everyone could agree on. If you're going to have a shootout in jiu-jitsu, it's got to be rear naked choke or armbar. That's it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
In other words, you
We can't
start
start
there.
people-
You start there where the
In
guy
overtime.
start with the back. In overtime.
Yeah.
In overtime,
So-
you
so-
start from. Do you know what spider web is? Like you get a guy inside
An
control,
armbar position.
and you
Yep.
you hook one of the arms, and he's defending.
Okay, so you're not
He's on
in
his
arm
back.
bar, but
Yeah.
you've got
The guy's defending it, but you have the
But I
arm
get
bar.
the arm.
Yes,
So
and,
he's
and we
got-
start from there.
He's got his
Wow.
defense.
we
It's
have
just not
shootouts.
extended. He's
You got
Right.
one of them
Defending.
hooked.
And the
Damn.
back is we start with a seatbelt in with 2 leg hooks, and you're sitting on your butt. And we start right there. We go, ready, go.
Have you seen combat jujitsu?
No.
Dude, Eddie Bravo came up with the greatest idea of all time. Combat jujitsu. It's regular jujitsu, but you get to smack the shit out of each other. So they're open palm
Isn't that
striking
like
each other in the
pancrase, though?
face. It's similar, but it's only on the ground.
Only
it's
on
only
the
when
ground.
it goes to the ground.
Damn.
So on the ground, well, Wagner Rocha, right?
Wagner Rocha.
He was the
Rocha.
first guy to stop a guy
Yeah,
that way.
TKO in jiu-jitsu.
And he's using his palms like Boss Rutan used to in pancrase, just fucking dropping him down, slamming him home.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Wow.
it opens up. It makes jiu-jitsu more realistic because there's certain
Right.
positions that you're so exposed, and if the guy smacks you in the head, or smacks you in the nose, and smacks you in the eyes, you're
Yeah.
just not going to stay in that spot. Or you can. There's going to be guys that are training smacks. They're going to get really good at it. Guys are going to be able to take guys out with smacks.
Yeah, most
you know?
99.9% of the guys that are down for combat jiu-jitsu, I got a long list of people wanted to. All of them have MMA experience. Only one guy, Ben Eddy, one of my brown belts. He's the only dude who never even thought of MMA, never even thought of it, and he wanted to do it because his guard is probably top 3 in the world. I've never seen any. We talked about him last podcast.
Yeah.
That guy with the Hindulo team, Ben
Yeah.
Eddy. You know, so he's the only one, and he went against Wilson Hayes, who had in combat jiu-jitsu, he's automatically ranked #1.
Right.
You know what I mean? Legit black belt.
Top of the
me-
food chain
phenomenal
MMA
jiu-jitsu,
fighter.
Wilson
just
Hayes.
Yeah.
fought Demetrius Johnson, possibly the greatest fighter ever. You know what I mean? Now he was in combat jiu-jitsu, and he
It's
went
such a
against
good
Ben
idea
Eddy.
though, because I watched the EBI in Austin. I was one of the color guys. You know, it was fun, and I didn't know what I was looking at as much. You know, obviously because I don't know enough about.
That was
jiu-jitsu.
on an invitation.
But it
we
was
did.
so incredible because I watched those guys, and I'm telling you, from my untrained eye, I couldn't even see when they were tapping the dudes. Like they were doing things that didn't. It looked like he was doing nothing, and I was like,
Leg
"What
stuff?
happened? What did he get him on? I didn't like what did he tap him on? I couldn't figure it out." And then, but the one thing I noticed is that pure jiu-jitsu practitioners, those competition guys who are amazing, that can do things, they're because there's zero striking. It's true that you get in very bad habits if you ever try to get into an MMA fight.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
Well,
I mean,
you see that a lot of times. You used to see that more often with leg locks, right? Guys
Yeah.
would go for leg locks and they'd be in a weird position and they'd get smashed. Go old school, Ian Freeman and Frank Mir. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That was like one of the first times that happened.
Tim Sylvia Cafe Dantes. That was another one.
Wait, so
Bruh.
you're saying,
dude, you went deeper.
But
Bruh.
are
Are
you
you
saying
talking about
like
leg locks and getting
I
beat
don't
up?
know who's deeper. Which one is deeper there? They might be in the same historical
Same
genre.
How
historical
about this?
genre, but it was a less popular fight.
Much less popular.
Wa-
I love Cafe.
But
I like
why
that.
aren't leg locks are not used as much because you can get punched in the face?
No,
You're
it's-
almost always giving up position to get a leg lock. You're almost always sitting back
Okay.
to get a leg lock. So I can sit up and punch your head through the ground.
It's also
So
you're
always be
a lot-
careful.
You're committing
Yeah.
your legs and 2 arms, usually to a
Can't
leg.
defend yourself.
And then guys are just punching you in the face while you're doing that.
And
in
that-
the
okay.
Ian Freeman fight, Ian Freeman was locked up in a heel hook, and Frank Mir was cranking on his heel, and Ian just steps in and just starts clanging him off his jaw. and
Joaquin
KO'd him.
Hansen, Romina Sato.
Yeah,
Remember
that's
that?
a great one too.
That might be
Great
one of the
one,
better
too.
ones.
Yeah.
That was an amazing one. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a gang of those where guys were
Overcommitted.
Yeah, and we had to learn. I mean,
They're
that's
risky. They're
yeah.
risky. But the state of the leg lock game these days is way different than those guys that were trying to pull off leg locks back then.
So much faster,
Even
man.
Romina Sato, even that level, he was considered one of the best leg lockers back then. But the level today in leg locks is way beyond that. It's way beyond it. What the guys at DDS have done, I mean, they've taken the leg lock game. I mean, it's beyond sambo. It's
DDS
beyond
beating
catch wrestling.
Danaher Death Squad.
Oh,
and
those
John
guys,
Danaher.
Yeah, Danaher.
John
John
Danaher.
Danaher.
He'll be
John
here.
Danaher.
John will be here tomorrow at 8 a.m.
Oh, he will.
Yeah, we're doing a podcast.
Oh,
Early
man.
morning
Did you
podcast.
have you? I was talking to Chael about the last Abu Dhabi, and he told me a story. I was laughing my ass off. He said they did the rules meeting, and they said, "Well, we want from everybody, so no controversies. We want 3 distinct taps, and everybody goes, I need to walk out of here. You know, like what we're talking about. You don't have time to do this anymore. That is
the heel hook.
That is
Yeah.
you're done. You don't have time to even 3 of these. You're risking an ACL.
Yeah.
Because everybody looked at each other like we're all agreeing to not do that. Like all the people were like, okay, if I tap, let me go, dude. Fuck this rule shit. Let me go. And and Chel's like, I got caught, and I just went, and the guy let me go.
Damn.
But like he goes,
Yeah, because it can just destroy your knee for life.
Everything in your knee will go, dude.
Oh,
Everything.
my God.
That's not.
Ooh, it's so bad.
That's a myth.
So bad.
That's not that bad. It's
I've seen horrible shit.
Yeah, I've
man,
seen
from hooks.
I've seen dudes get their shoulders wrecked with Kimuras.
Yeah,
it's true
too.
Yeah, no, it's all true. It's all true.
But
True.
but I'm saying
Nasty.
I know where you're coming from with
Yeah.
the leg lock thing. People have had their knees
look at
fucked up
Matt.
with leg locks, but
Wow, Matt Hughes.
it's not as common as you
He
think.
barely walk.
Oh, my
Holy
God.
shit.
No.
Well, you know, though, it's good to see him out of the wheelchair.
It
And
is,
apparently he's
dude.
recovering. I don't. He got hit by a train, man, which is crazy. I mean, most people would be dead.
Makes me want to cry.
Yeah. Fuck.
Fuck.
Wow.
Dude, it's great that he's
You know what,
alive.
last
I'm
thing he said to
looking
me-
at him going, fuck, look at him
Yeah.
walking.
That's
He's
the way
gonna
to
come
look.
back.
Yeah,
We shot
He's
out-
coming
that's the way to
back.
look.
We shot Warrior together, and the last thing he said to me, we had a scene together, and this was a week later. He got hit. He said, he goes, I hope I can put my shoes on when I'm older. Fucking makes me want
Yeah, man.
Makes
a
me
lot of
so
guys.
emotional.
Sucks. It's good to see him
Him
though.
and Dana hugging it out. A lot of guys think that way.
because he
you
was
know?
worried about. He was talking about head trauma. He said he worries about it, and then he gets hit by a train. And fucking,
Well, you should, man. Everybody should fucking worry about it. I mean, it's something that has to be taken into consideration. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, but fuck,
Yeah.
he's a good guy.
He is a good
Yeah, he
guy.
is. He
He's a
is.
very good guy. And one of the most important figures in the history of the sport, when you break down what he was, he represented like a powerful wrestler that embraced submissions. Remember he caught that far side armbar on George St. Pierre? Like he was one of the first guys that was like a real strong wrestler that had very high level submission skills.
He was a huge leap in the sport.
Yeah.
I
I
was.
mean, he beat Hoist Gracie on the ground.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel
Took
like
his fast.
he was one of the
Smashed
first
him.
real like top level athletes. sort of,
Stud.
you know what I mean? Like a stud athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of guys who are that way, but
Well, I'm glad he's okay, and it's nice to see him walking around. Nice to see
That
him
is
getting
good,
better.
man.
All right, so we're going to go to Kamaru Usman and Emil Mech. I love this fight.
Me too.
That's a good
Nobody wants to fight Usman. Nobody.
He's a beast.
Everybody's running from that dude. That guy's a smashing machine. I mean, he is a fucking tank of a human being. But this Emil Mech guy, talk about leg locks, he got his way into the UFC by knocking out Toquinho. He smashed him and some other organization.
wait, isn't he fighting the
did.
Valhalla guy?
Yeah, that's Emil Mech.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Emil Mech is the crazy Viking guy.
He's a stud.
fucking animal.
He's so
Animal.
shredded and stupid.
But Kamaru Usman, top of the food chain wrestler, super athlete, just a tank of a man who everybody's running from, just running from. Nobody wants a piece of him. When you talk about like top 10 guys, he's the guy that nobody's mentioning.
There's a special thing I think in MMA and combat sports period is there are guys who are great and then there are guys who are frightening where nobody and another good example is Toquinho
Yeah.
Poliares.
Right.
Even when he was a fringe top 10 guy, people were like, I don't want anything to do with that dude. I don't want to be anywhere near.
too
Like I'd rather have a GSP who's better but won't hurt me like Toquinho will rip your leg in half and just have no idea what he's doing.
Man, I
You
feel
know,
like
scary,
I think
dude.
he did some bad things in the UFC. He definitely held on to submissions,
Really
but I
bad.
feel like he got a bad deal when he got fired. When he got kicked out of the UFC, the submission that he held, I watched it and I say that was not egregious, and that
It
was a
wasn't-
normal thing for anybody else.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't. Certainly wasn't his worst. It's just
Right.
it was like the fourth time that they had said, "Hey, don't."
The
you
other
know,
ones were
respect the tap.
horrible.
Other ones were worse.
Yeah,
but it was
if you-
just it was a straw
Yeah,
to me.
it was a
The
straw.
Jake Shields fight was like,
Fucking crazy.
and I thought the refereeing in that was
Yeah.
terrible.
Crazy.
You mean,
I mean,
with when
that
he
was
fought,
in World Series of
kept
Fighting.
gouging his eyes.
Asshole,
Yeah.
that,
He was
that
literally-
cheater.
Yeah.
Yeah, kept
I'm
gouging
sorry,
his eyes.
man. I lost all respect for him when he was doing that.
Shields looked at the ref and was like, "Dude, he keeps gouging
Did you
my
see his
eyes."
eye afterwards?
Yeah.
I would have kicked
crazy.
him out of the
Well, you
the-
have to.
And then he held on to the Kimura.
It's tough to under. Yeah, and then Jake hit him after he tapped him with the Kimura because he wouldn't let go of the Kimura. But if you go back and I mean, I'm not giving the guy an excuse, but you want to find out about his childhood. His childhood was horrific.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
really?
was working on a farm when he was like a little boy. He has a giant scar in his chest because he got slashed open, and they just tried to like tape it up and glue it together. They never brought him to the hospital. I mean, he literally would eat pig slop. Like he had no food. and just worked on a farm. It was, you know, and then as he got older, made his way into Rio, and then found Minotauro School and started learning jiu-jitsu. And just a tank from farm work, from being a boy, having to work.
He needs to fight Ngannou.
He's scared as well as scary. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a kid that's growing up in that horrific environment like that, who knows what kind of
Who knows how his brain
suffered.
developed and all that stuff.
Yeah. Who know? I mean, but definitely was in danger and fearful from the time he was very young, and he was in a position where he was struggling for his life, like for survival, in a way that weak bitches
we
like
don't
us,
understand.
We don't understand.
But
We're so soft.
he might have no. He obviously probably has impulse control, all kinds of issues.
It's
like
an
that,
animal in a lot of ways.
But like, if you look at the Avilan fight that he had in Abu Dhabi, where they're rolling out and he's holding onto a heel hook.
Oh, it was horrible.
And like the ref stop, and he won't stop.
Yeah.
And Avilan's freaking out.
But that was also that terrible situation when they restarted him with him holding
and it was
it,
done. Yeah.
which you never can do. You just can't do.
Yeah.
You can't, particularly with heel hooks.
No, you can't.
cannot say ready, set, go, because you got to assume that the guy's securing that in the middle of a scramble.
You got to be in motion.
Right.
Yeah.
There's also, you can't just start him because he's gonna rip it.
But the thing was about the mental state is, you know, they stop and Avilan is furious because he wouldn't let go of this heel hook. And, like, Toquinho's trying to, like, hug it out. And they're trying to explain to him, no, you were supposed to let go. And it was almost like he didn't quite get what was going on. It took a while. If you watch that, it took a while for them to explain it to him, like,
he gets into the frenzy of it, maybe.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, dude.
You could also make the argument that he's playing dumb. I don't know him. I don't know the guy.
Yeah,
I don't mean, but if that was my student, he was tearing apart like that, I would say this guy's fucking playing dumb. He knows he's not supposed to rip your leg apart like that.
That ref though, what's his name with the Jake Shields fight? You see him, you're watching him.
It was a Steve Mazzagatti fight, if I remember correctly.
Was it Mazzagatti?
It was Mazzagatti.
Like you don't see him digging into his eyes like that. How like you're a ref and you don't see that?
Both of his eyes were all red. It was crazy.
Oh, that was awful.
I'm never critical, but that there's just no excuse for that.
That was
bullshit.
awful. That was awful.
He did a seminar because he's top team, and I was top team in Long Beach. I'm Carlson Gracie and everything. And my coach calls me and he says, I wasn't in town at the time, but he goes, "Oh, Toquinho's doing a seminar. You should come by for this leg lock seminar or whatever." And I remember thinking, I'd want to learn the leg locks. I don't know if I'd get on a mat with that dude. Like, I want him to show me stuff, but if he's like, "I'm gonna demonstrate, come here," I'd be like, I don't know if I want to like
when you
sit
bring
there
in one
with
of them
you, dude.
old school Gracie Bubba dummies.
Dude, yeah, he would bring the dummy and go, "Show me on that guy."
Isn't it a little? It's different though. When it's just a straight grappling match, yeah, come on. You're not trying to. No one's trying to break anybody's bones here.
Yeah,
but it's a little bit different in MMA when your opponent has no problem trying to put his fist through your skull. Through your skull.
It's a fight.
He would love it if he kicked you right in the head and broke your fucking orbital bone.
Yeah.
He would love it, and no one would ever talk shit on him. Yeah. But if you crank a heel hook and you tear their tendon a little bit, you know, then you're the fucking bad guy.
Yeah.
But it's also he doesn't.
No, I think it's to stop when the guy's tapping.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Stop when
you know what I'm saying?
You have to respect.
So you break.
the tap.
You're trying to break my skull.
Yeah.
I'm trying to break your tendon.
100%, yeah.
What's the difference?
But the guys, but once again, the guys who hit the ground, the refs just stop, and they're still trying to hit
Can
him.
you imagine a guy-
Fuck that guy. It's the same thing. You got to stop punching when the referee gets in your period.
Yeah, but what about
Same thing.
in situations like Dan Henderson and Bill and Bisping?
he didn't like
No,
Bisping.
think
He
about
was-
this. Think about
Oh
this.
yeah, he was trying to hurt him.
Yeah.
Fighters know when a guy is fucking done.
Yep.
He hit Bisping so hard that for sure Dan Henderson knew he was done. But the ref was like 15 yards away. So Dan Henderson knew, he's like, damn, I got a free shot. Check this out. Whoa, boom. It makes highlight reels. That's okay?
It's
No,
his
I'm not
t-shirt.
saying that's okay at all.
I like it.
I put them in the same category.
I like it. Exactly.
If you don't
exactly.
respect the stop of the fight,
it's just
bad.
a tendon. It's
Yeah.
just a little tendon. It's not that big.
These two
There are a
are
few.
very. These
No,
two
it's
are
a good
as,
point.
as
It's a good
muscled
point.
as you get. Are these 170
Does
pounders?
this make you feel uncomfortable about your own body when you
Yes.
watch these guys?
Yes, it does.
Because they basically weigh what you weigh, or they weighed in.
No, it
Yeah,
hurts.
they weighed in what you
it's
weigh.
The
They don't
reason,
weigh
it's
what
the
you weigh.
fucking reason I'll never ultimately be happy. I mean, that's
Because you're not built like that.
That's exactly right. And I would never wear clothes. I would always be in shorts like that.
You would have like a hoodie opened up all the way.
That's right.
You walk down the beach with no shirt
And
on.
He'd be that guy 100%.
I'd wear a
He would
scarf
have-
around my neck. I'd have
He'd
all
have
kinds
a
of
book
stuff.
in his back pocket that was all dog-eared, but he really never read it.
That's true. That was my rap.
Jack
You
Kerouac.
know what'll help? You know what'll help you? You know what'll help you in these moments? And this, you'll appreciate this. Because we were talking about Bobby Fischer last time.
Yes.
That same documentary.
Yes.
Bobby Fischer Against the World, you have to watch.
That's a great documentary.
Yeah. But remember when the guy says, imagine all the things you did as a kid, after school and before school, and imagine all of that's filled up with chess study, and that's all you did. So you can complain, I'm not that guy, but you're sitting here drinking wine and cheese. That dude's in the gym.
You are correct,
Like,
sir.
all the stuff I do that doesn't have anything to do with getting yoked, I get to do all that stuff.
You are correct.
That's all. Why aren't I as good at grappling as Rickson Gracie? Think of all you did while Rickson Gracie was on a mat
and just
training.
rolling.
You were doing other stuff.
That's what I like about life.
That's
and
the only way to
Rickson
think about
to
it.
me
Dude.
is one of my all-time favorite grappling characters, not just because he's the all-time greatest
Yeah.
Gracie, but also because he incorporated yoga. He was so outside the box. He's doing what a lot of jiu-jitsu guys are doing now, incorporating yoga. MMA guys
The
incorporating
nutrition
yoga.
too.
You
Everything.
and I watched Choke together. I think it was for the first time. I remember
Dude,
that's how far we back
we
go.
wanted to do push-ups.
Look at this,
Jump around. Look at this. Looking at each other.
dude. These guys are these guys. Who was the last guy Meek fought?
That's a good question.
That guy.
It's. I think you pronounce it Mech.
okay.
I think it's Emil Mech.
Yeah, he's a he
a
is a
tank.
straight up Viking,
100%.
and you've got a West African warrior over here
Woo!
from Nigeria. You got
What's going to be interesting is if Mech can stuff the takedown. Can he stuff the takedown?
Came out drunken monkey for a second.
Yeah, it came out
Love
nice
that.
and low.
Now-
see
oh,
that right
oh,
away.
there's a single.
Right away.
Couldn't
There's a
stop
takedown.
it for
but
literally
he
a
got the
second.
neck. Got the neck.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit!
And full
Kamaru.
guard. And full guard.
oh shit.
Oh Kamaru.
Well, that's not good, is it, guys?
Well,
Yeah.
now
He's trying
here's
to put
the
pressure on
question.
his right side. That's
How
what
much?
I'm saying.
How much does he burn himself out here? Does he go for it, or does he let it go and this beast is on top of him, dropping elbows?
Is Usman
or-
okay here?
Well, arm ins
right
are harder
now-
to finish. He has his arm in. Arm one in, it's a lot harder to finish. Right now, I
long
would
as he
say he's
keeps his
fine.
weight on
Doesn't
that-
have it by now. Yeah, he's trying to put all his weight on his right side.
Okay.
It all depends.
I'm sorry,
on,
his left side.
on
right from
his
where we're looking at.
squeeze. It's
Yeah.
hard. I
Yeah.
don't know how good his squeeze is.
Oh, he's tightened down.
I mean, because
now.
he's got
Strong
full
body.
guard. This is a great position. This is.
Is it?
Yes, it's great.
If you know how to finish it, yeah.
He's deep.
Yeah.
He's
Ooh.
under that chin, man.
Ooh, that doesn't look good.
That's not good.
Oh, he's way lighter now. Way lighter. Look at all that air. See all that air?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's giving
gonna get
he's
out
giving
of
up
here.
on
He's
it.
popping
Okay.
out. He's popping out right now.
could've-
And Emil's going to try to step up.
Oh, he's trying to get that.
Kamaru's
Yep.
going to hold him down, and now.
Oh, I don't like that. Now head
Interesting.
and arm.
Kamaru taking him to the cage. Interesting.
He's got to pass to get the head and arm. Won't work from guard.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
this is-
maybe with that fence, there's something there. You know what I mean?
Could be.
Right.
Maybe he puts enough energy into it, but
He just
Man,
hangs.
but not
The
at
first
full
time I've ever
arm.
seen it.
Kidney.
But
Work
if
the
he
kidneys.
could just pass one leg and hold his position, if he can get to half guard and just keep this upper body
yeah,
clenched,
if he
that's
can
what he's
pass
trying
to
to
half,
do.
he can do it. Yeah.
'Cause,
Usman's
now he's
wrestling
back in
pedigree
full
is
guard.
what?
Good question. Jamie, see if you could pull up Usman's wrestling pedigree. I'm pretty sure he's NCAA All-American.
Yikes.
And more than that, I think maybe 2 years. I'd have to go over my notes.
Look at that. He wants the back.
Ooh, stepping back up. Stepping up, though.
Nigeria had an Olympian in Daniel Igali who went to Canada and then won gold medal in 2000.
He's trying to take the back
As far as I know, there's not a lot of great wrestling out of there.
3-year All-American D2.
Yeah, 3-year All-American
American D2.
Division 2. All right, cool. And what university?
University of Nebraska at Kearney.
Same as Ellenberger. That's where
Ooh,
Ellenberger
he's
went.
going for the Kimura. Look at this.
Yep.
Look at this.
Oh boy.
Interesting.
This is interesting as hell.
Interesting. Ooh, he's got it in low. He's got it nice and low.
Got to really turn his hips though.
Yeah.
And the fence is getting in the way a little bit.
Okay, he's defended it. Nice. Still controlling that wrist, though. Doesn't want to let it go. Interesting. Can't get that arm over.
Going back
He's
to
going to
it.
go, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of muscle to feel. If this goes later, it'll be interesting to see.
Well,
the
it's
team.
also
Yeah,
the-
it's a lot of tension on the muscles, but
Well,
if you've
we-
been wrestling for a long time, you're used to it.
We're talking about Kamaru and Nigerian wrestlers. I mean, where is Emil from Iceland? What's Viking? Norway? What is
Well,
that? What's he from?
Greenland,
The
Iceland.
flag was
Norway.
Norway. The flag was Norway.
Denmark,
Norway?
I think.
Sweden.
Where is he from though? He's from?
We're going to find out. Jamie said, look at this. This is a battle, baby. This is a battle.
You got a couple of.
Kamaru Usman.
Oh,
Want to establish that domination.
From Norway.
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 Bunch of fucking tough people in Norway.
He's got his nails painted. I like that his toenails are painted. I appreciate it very much.
Going to
That's
Frank
old school.
Trigg.
They're painted.
Chuck
He
Liddell.
worships the devil.
Yeah. Ah, sure.
He's probably a druid. In his free time.
Druid. What?
It's a male witch.
What? I thought that was a warlock.
They're experts at potions.
Can you imagine
I love how the what is like, I don't know what a druid is. It's more that you're calling him a druid.
Yeah, a druid's not
is
actually a male
what?
witch, but a druid is,
what?
I believe, somebody who's into magic and...
Emil Mech, back up.
Oh, Emil Mech standing up.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He can't keep Usman off him. The question is whether or not Usman can continue like this pace and keep doing
His
this.
mouth is closed. He seems to be breathing pretty...
But how's Mech going to feel once he gets free? You know,
Because you're holding your weight and the other guy's weight,
Who's
which
more,
sucks.
who's more burnt out here? Who's going to be more burnt out? I mean, we're likely looking at the end of the first round where Kamaru controls him and does, you know, most of the control, but really didn't get much off. You know?
That's a mistake.
Interesting.
Keep your head there.
Lock,
Keep your head there.
Don't
What do you
turn.
do here? You
Yeah.
push?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to keep him square. Want to keep the guy in front of you.
Okay.
Who's Emil Mech training with?
I was just going to ask that.
I'd like to see who's Jujitsu
With Thor.
in Valhalla.
Valhalla.
Oh, nice ride.
I watched Star Wars today.
How was it? I haven't seen it yet.
It was like a Disney Star Wars movie.
Yeah, okay.
It's like
That's what I figured.
everything's super diversified. The characters are all black and Asian women, and there's women that are generals. The women are running things. It's like
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
It's like Game of Thrones.
No. But
Oh, a little after the bell action there.
It just it was okay.
That was a get off
It was
me
a
move.
fun movie. It was fun, but
Yeah.
it was just like it got Disneyfied. It's like they just boiled all the bacteria off
Did
of
it get? Did it get Marxist?
Well, it's just you know, I like a strong female character, but I don't want to think that this is like a calculated move for you to create a strong female character.
But it is a calculated
because
move.
you want. But I don't want to notice that.
I know.
Do you know what I'm saying?
They have
Somebody
like-
told me that about the Black Mirror. Somebody
Yeah.
complained. They said, "Oh, all the fucking heroes in this season's Black Mirror are all women." Like, if you watch the Black Mirror and that's what you're concentrating on, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Because that fucking
Yeah.
show's amazing.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's
doesn't-
astonishingly
Nobody
good.
gives a fuck
It's
if there's
fucking
women in the
astonishing.
lead or men in the
Yeah.
lead. It's
It
just
gives-
a phenomenal
It
show.
gives me anxiety.
Yes,
like
it's
I'm like, should
astonishing.
I want to turn it off halfway through.
Dude.
Like,
I haven't seen this.
then I'll
My
put on
wife won't
Dave
watch it
Chappelle.
with me anymore.
I'll put.
I haven't seen this season though. I haven't seen this.
This season's the greatest ever. It's amazing.
Dude,
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Metalhead about the dogs.
was crazy. All right, here we go. Round two.
Watch
round
out
two.
now. Don't be getting
now,
taken down.
Let's see if Matt. Oh, he's going right to head kicks. But here's the thing: does Usman get tired? Does he get tired after all that grapple fucking?
He doesn't look tired to me.
Doesn't look tired. Doesn't look tired. Is Mech tired? Front kick to the body. Mech, I like the fact that he's still throwing kicks even though he got taken down and dominated on the ground. He's trying to set something up. Oh, and another hard kick to the arms. Not fun. Not fun to take those if you're holding tie pads.
Don't you have to be careful about catching the top of your foot on those elbows? Ooh.
Well, I was not thinking about that.
Yeah, that
Brian.
can suck. But once again, if you're thinking about it,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be
He's
throwing
thinking
them.
about slamming
Yeah.
that shin into those fucking forearms and making them useless.
Yeah.
Ooh, those hurt. Oh, he hurt him. He hurt him with that spinning back
Damn.
fist.
Damn.
He hurt him.
elbow.
Sneaky.
That was
That
a
hand
very
that was
nice
doing that.
spinning
Yep.
back fist. Very
Looping
nice.
left there.
Ducked under that hand. Get out of there,
There you go.
son. Here we go.
All right. Somebody's going to.
Oh,
He's reaching a little
Somebody's
bit
gonna-
now. He's
somebody's
reaching a
gonna-
little bit.
I felt like, oh, there he gets it. There he gets it. Better let it go, son. Better get out of there.
Sprawl.
Get out of there, Mech. Interesting, though. Usman does not want no part of that fucking
Nope.
stand-up.
I don't think so.
Not enjoying it.
No.
Doesn't want to be throwing bones with a Viking. That's a long history of fucking
Where-
people up.
Where did he
Think about
wrestle?
that. Where did he?
Oh, small.
Nebraska,
University of
Kearney.
Nebraska.
Kearney.
Got that wizard.
D2.
He's got that wizard.
Ooh, good left hand by Usman. Oh,
Bad move
almost
going
get
over the
back.
head.
Almost
Yep.
get the back.
Should have kept that wizard, right?
Should have kept it.
Interesting how to score this, right? Because
Yeah.
Usman, when he gets it to the ground, he's been not able to do anything.
Yeah.
He
And-
controls him, but he's not getting anything off.
And it's Mech who went for the submissions in the first round. He's
Mech
the one who
went for
tried to finish the
submissions,
fight.
and clearly Usman does not
I like
want to
the way he's-
stand with him. He's trying to bring this into
Stand
his
up.
realm.
Stand up, Mick.
Well,
Just
got to
gotta
stand
keep
up without
standing.
giving up your back.
Yeah, he doesn't want to let stand up too high and get hooks in.
Okay.
So it's about guarding your hips and standing up at the same
I
time.
see.
That's
Yeah,
also
okay.
why you see he's got his right hip pressed nice and square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's trying to keep that left hook, or the right hook rather, from getting in. He's back up again. Interesting. Trying to separate those arms. A lot of battle in here. A lot of fucking physical war. This is going to be, in a lot of ways, like who's going to be the fitter fighter.
Yeah, it is. But Mac keeps standing up.
And again, going for
back
that
to the
Kimura.
Kimura, come on.
Gotta watch it. And that's the commitment to the hips.
See, he's going to it. Going to
for
it. But
he's too close to the fence.
Yeah.
Too close to the fence and doesn't really have anything going on with his legs. He likes it, though. He's holding it. That's his shit. He's a muscle dude. That's a real muscle move.
Yeah.
It's funny, you know, Marcelo Garcia doesn't use Kimuras.
But his body is not on the right side to do anything with that Kimura if he gets that arm.
I find that amazing.
Right? It does take a lot of commitment with the hips to get a Kimura. Generally speaking,
well,
you're a black belt. Are you a black belt?
Yeah.
In jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
You fought too, right?
Yeah.
MMA.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say?
Kimuras, I think what Marcelo means by that is that Kimuras definitely work.
Yeah.
No, they certainly do.
There's elaborate systems around Kimuras. Kimuras are fucking huge.
Oh, yeah.
But I see what he says, because if you're going to go with someone who has 20, 30 pounds on you, Kimura not going to work.
Look at these elbows from the bottom.
And also, that's a guy who's saying, with all the options I have, I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, he's got a lot of other options. He's not sitting there thinking just about the Kimura. He has a lot of options every time he attacks. He goes for wrists a lot. So I think it's just the harder way to go with all the options he has. That's another way to look at it.
It makes sense, though. He says he wants to spend time working on submissions, and only time, like all his time, that work on big guys.
Yeah.
Chokes.
Yeah.
Chokes. He's all about
He went open
guillotines,
division
North Carolina.
Abu Dhabi all the time.
He just wants to get good at stuff that works on bigger guys. If it doesn't work on bigger guys, he doesn't want to spend time there.
And he had a leg lock game too. He submitted Rico Rodriguez with I remember that in Abu Dhabi
after he slammed him.
Yeah,
got
that
booed.
was dark.
That was dirty.
If he wanted to be a leg
that's what
locker,
Jacare did to him. Remember,
he got him a Kimura
because I'm bigger, I'm stronger. Lock him down, get rid of his mobility, and go for the Kimura.
I remember that. It was quick. That was
fast
a quick submission. Yeah. Okay, Mech on the bottom here, man.
Starting to get cut up too.
Yeah, well, he got some good elbows off from the bottom, and then Kamaru started smashing on him. He was angry.
When you're on top of somebody for this long, though, is that scored as
yeah.
Sure.
Control?
Yeah.
Big
Well,
advantage.
you're in the dominant position, and also your strikes count for more. So when it comes to significant strikes, your strikes are more significant.
Got you.
Basically.
Yeah, and clearly
With a few
Usman
exceptions.
wants to keep the fight to the ground, and clearly Mech wants to get up, and he can't. So it shows dominance of position. It shows the ability to execute your game.
Did they just? Oh, okay, that was
End of the round.
Very interesting. Yeah, I've been looking forward to somebody challenging Usman. But so you see some vulnerabilities in the stand-up.
Yeah.
See a little bit of that, and Mech being a strong, dangerous guy. But you also see Usman's strengths, his ability to keep fights going down. Now, what kind of cheese is this? Do you get raw cheese? Are you one of those fellas?
This is a beautiful
That is good cheese.
aged Manchego.
That is good cheese.
More,
I will admit.
Is it
Don't be
raw?
stingy.
Is this raw cheese?
I don't know.
You don't know.
But it's a beautiful.
Do you get it at Whole Foods?
It's the best Manchego I've ever had.
Thank you, my man.
Ooh, that's really good.
You see what I mean? I don't play around when it comes to cheese.
You do not, dude.
I don't play around in general.
That's some good goddamn cheese. You ever have a good vegan cheese?
No, I don't believe
Do they
it.
exist?
Yeah, they're cashew cheese. You can kiss my ass with that stuff.
Really?
Yeah, it's not cheese. Stop reinventing the wheel.
What is
That's
it
what drives
then?
me crazy. They make it out of cashews and stuff.
But is it like a valid
I'm
substitution?
being dramatic, actually. I'm kidding, but
You aren't.
I don't know.
You're serious.
My wife eats it.
Here we go, round 3. Dun dun dun.
Do you say "get the fuck out of my face" with that shit when you see you're eating it? Do you just scream? Do you yell into the
Get the
kitchen
fuck
like?
out of my face
Oh,
with that shit right
okay,
now.
so I'm just curious.
Take that communist stuff out of my fucking house.
Interesting. Both guys look pretty good in this third round.
Eddie, you're a vegan now,
I'm
right?
trying to keep my mouth
Not
away from the
vegan.
mic.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean,
No, I just.
You look good either way. That's all I know.
Thank you.
Eddie doesn't age.
Well, especially now off the booze.
He does not age,
Your
man.
face
Look at
looks
him.
your face
How
looks
old
way
are you?
better.
Thank
He's
you.
85 years old.
How old are you?
47.
Damn, man. You look young.
Thank you.
You really do.
Oh, nut shot.
Oh,
boom,
no.
toes caught it.
Kinda. Not that bad.
Sitting on your butt like that, huh? Oof. All right. Well,
He's doing that weird drop thing that never works.
You know what's funny is a lot of people like complain online. Whatever. Fans are like, "Oh, that wasn't a bad shot." A lot of times, the ones that don't look bad slam the cup right into your nuts.
Yeah.
And they're the worst. The grazing shots a lot of times are the worst ones. They shift the cup.
They say sometimes that a cup
and a square one
more problems.
Yeah, you got to get those goddamn compression cups like Diamond MMA. Yeah. They have that compression short with a cup that keeps everything locked in and tight. That's what you want.
Our boy is scoring with these strikes.
He hit him with a hard shot to the body and a good right hand behind it. It's interesting because if you look at like who did damage, clearly Usman got off some of the damage in that first round, but you can't discount all this.
No, you cannot.
Don't go back to the ground. I want to come on. Let me see this slugfest. Look at this.
Hammering with those elbows.
Travis Brown.
Oh shit.
He's going down, son.
Yep.
Oh Jesus.
And he's probably not going to be able to get up.
Damn it. Here we go again.
He's working for that head and arm choke again. But again, he's stuck in full guard. Seems rudimentary.
Yeah, his pass certainly hasn't been there.
Yeah, he's got no pass.
Just hasn't passed
he's
at all.
And he seems like he's just kind of trying to hold that spot with that left arm trapped, but he doesn't really have a real option.
Meek's an animal, though.
He is an animal,
He's an animal.
But he's fucked here.
Oh,
nice! Nice!
Right back to it.
Still comes
Usman
at him,
right
though.
back on him.
That's it. That's Usman's happy place, boy. He'll just that pressure's
he didn't
crazy.
want none of that. Didn't want none of that. Didn't want to be standing
That's
up
a
with
switch, old school switch.
Old school wrestling switch, man.
Good luck.
Yeah, but I don't get that on.
You gotta get that like right away.
Usman's just got such a big
That'll work once a
advantage with
fight,
the
right? Or
wrestling.
once in a blue moon.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Ouch, that's gotta hurt.
So you see how strong Usman's wrestling is, but you also see vulnerability.
Yeah.
Definitely see vulnerability in the stand-up. I don't think it's going to be as hard for him to get fights now. I'll tell you that. He'll be able to get a few guys that'll step in.
And he's fighting a strong guy, but he isn't fighting a tricky, a guy that's going to cut a lot of angles or throw weird stuff at him. Because he's reached a few times for those takedowns, and the guy Meek hasn't had the speed to really make him pay for it. Somebody else will.
Him versus Mike Perry would be very interesting.
Him versus Darren Till would be interesting.
That would be horrific.
In other words,
I think
Meek versus Perry.
Big advantage for the stand-up for Till.
Right,
big,
that's what I mean.
Big advantage.
Yeah.
Darren Till is a wizard.
He's going to be, I think, I don't know what his wrestling's like against a guy like Tyron or something, but I don't know how he stops that. But if he does have great takedown defense, I think he's going to walk through that division, not walk through.
Well, you saw almost immediately in the Cowboy fight, he was on so many levels higher than Cowboy when it came to stand-up.
Yeah.
Distance control, and then consequences for his actions.
Well, he hits so fucking hard.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Ring at 201. He's a huge guy.
He's a huge guy.
And he's able to get down to 170. Oh, my. And he's 24 years old.
And he's super technical, too.
Oof.
It's not just big.
Right.
He's big and real technical.
And he stepped into a big fight late notice and acted like this is my moment. A lot of guys mentally fold, and he did not.
No.
Very confident.
There's no folding in that guy.
He's the best
Do you know
in the
Vinny
world.
Shorman? Vinny does Muay Thai commentary for a bunch of organizations, and he's also a fight hypnotist. Really interesting guy. And, he knows a lot about the Thai world and Thai fighting, and he's always talking to me about dudes. And when he found out that Till was fighting Cowboy, he was very excited. He called me up or sent me text messages about it. We went back and forth quite a bit. He was like, this guy is something special. He's something special. So it really prompted me to go watch some of Till's fights, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, he's monstrous.
And, and Cowboy was like, I ain't watching tape on him. I heard he likes to strike. Good. I love striking. I was like, this fight's going to be fucking crazy.
How tall is Till?
He's tall. He's like 6'2", I think.
Yikes.
Yeah, he's a big fucking guy.
Huge
There it is. He
For
wants the arm
170
triangle.
pounds.
He said
Yep.
it. He goes, I'm a light heavyweight. Look at this. Kick him away. Still up. Standing up.
Nah.
Oh, God.
Back down.
Big slam.
Good return.
Big slam.
Yeah.
So, dominant performance by Usman in the fact that he got in the second and the third round to do really basically what he wanted. Took some punishment on the feet, but here we
There it
go.
is.
Oh, the full mount now.
But you gotta
And
try
he
to
steps
do
right back in the half guard.
Yep.
Yeah, you see the weaknesses. You see where he needs some improvement.
Well, the big one to me is the stand-up. He looks like he's thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when things are going down, he's thinking.
And his instinct is to reach, is to go, okay, and reach. And there are guys out there that will really make you pay for that.
Yeah. I want to see him versus a guy who can really fucking bang. That's why I think that he's bummed out. Emil Mek's bummed out. But I feel like seeing Usman against a guy who might be able to stuff those takedowns and maybe have a little bit faster hands than Mech. Mech is tough and his stand-up is good, but he's just a real strong dude that doesn't have like any one overwhelming feature to his game. Whereas a guy like Mike Perry can blow your fucking brains through the back of your head. You know, I mean, that guy hits so goddamn hard. He's so ferocious. I'd like to see him, but I don't think he's going to be able to stop that takedown. This guy's got some fucking wicked wrestling. Interesting, though. He learned a lot tonight. Tell you that. That's a fight like that's good for a guy like him. And we got to see him in vulnerable positions. Did not like the stand-up.
Wow.
Interesting.
And he was in trouble a couple times against a guy who's not super duper slick on the ground, and he was still like, Kimura and the guillotine. So
especially the guillotine, like right away. I mean, what if he had gotten locked up like that with a guy who's like a wicked finisher? Yeah.
Christian Bale's the best actor in Hollywood.
As long as Daniel Day-Lewis stays making shoes.
You know what? Daniel Day-Lewis is my favorite. He's my favorite, but I got Christian Bale right there with him.
He's right there
and
with him.
I love Daniel Day-Lewis, but Christian Bale. Here's a trivia question. What was the one movie he was in when he was younger? Well, he was in 2 movies. He's been acting since he was 6.
Empire of the Sun.
Wow. Thank you, sir. Wow. Thank you, sir.
Don't even
Jimmy,
start with
you
me,
don't
dude.
fuck around.
Bro,
Jimmy.
Let's hug it out across the table.
I'd love to.
All
There's
right.
one
Jimmy
more,
Smith
but you
just
won't
laid
get
it
it, and it's
down.
okay. There's one more. Henry V with Kenneth Branagh. He has a little part.
Yeah.
But I love that you got that. I love you.
Empire of the Sun, dude.
I'm already impressed with
I
you.
have a degree in history, dog.
So do I.
Bro,
Dude,
hug it out. Hug it
boy.
out. Where'd you go to school?
American University.
UCLA.
Oh, you're
I have a
awesome.
degree in history from
Well,
UCLA.
I was already a fan when I listened to you on
there you
Rogan's.
go,
I went,
man.
this fucking guy is
But
brilliant.
you didn't know.
Dude,
Dude.
I love you for that.
History trivia. Jimmy's all
Thank
about
you,
it.
sir. God, I love
Yeah.
that. I
Empire
love
of the
that
Sun
about
right
you.
there.
Dude, I'm so happy that you're with the UFC now.
Happy to be here, man.
he's
Happy
great,
to be
Dude,
here.
We tried to get you for
There,
years. For years.
Yeah, man.
He's as knowledgeable
And there's
as
some
he is.
guys doing commentary right now. We were just saying there's a guy who's doing on this fight that we don't know who he is. Who's this guy?
Play-by-play.
Brendan. What is his name?
Well, there's Paul Felder. Is Paul Felder?
Well, Paul Felder's the
amazing.
color.
I love
He's a
Analyst.
color. But I mean,
He was
I
a theater
guess,
major, Paul Felder. Little
Yeah.
trivia
Was he?
fact. Yes, he
Didn't know
was.
that.
Great guy. When I watched him fight a lot, including live, and he just looks like such an animal. So when I met him, I expected this kind of real kind of antisocial, rough guy, and he's the exact opposite. Theater major, very intelligent, just a good sober dude, you know.
Yeah.
Just-
Super nice guy.
Oh, great guy, and just as tough as it gets.
Kamaru Usman, clearly unanimous decision.
I'm very impressed with both those guys.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, interesting fight though. I'm glad that fight happened. Got to see it.
But you're right. Usman's going to get more people going to go, oh, yeah, I can beat that guy.
Yeah.
Which can be good for you.
Yeah.
Which can be good. You don't want people running from it.
He's going to get guys that are be willing to fight him now because he's got a strong presence in the top 10. I mean, he's number 10 now. Winning this fight probably keeps him in that area because Mech is probably not ranked.
Is that Hoofed? Is that him Hoofed?
Where?
Is he? Am I looking at it to the left of? They just showed him.
Perhaps. I don't know. Usman, I
right
know
there.
is.
Right there.
So you guys
Yes,
are saying,
yes, that's
so
Henry.
you guys are saying
Yeah.
people are going to want to fight him now?
Yeah, I think so. More people.
I don't
are gonna
think
More
wanna
than
so.
there
fight
were
him.
before.
Yeah. He
I don't
should,
think
but
so.
look, he's no picnic.
He
could
he's
beat a lot
like
of guys.
he's like an African Khabib.
No, he could beat a lot
Yeah,
of
that's
guys.
a good
no
call.
doubt about it. No,
Well, there were some vulnerabilities in there.
Yeah, not
There
like
were.
Khabib. Not like Khabib. I think he's very good. Don't get me wrong, but I think that Emil's, without real fast hands, showed some real vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
Like, if he was, okay, let's put it this way. If Calvin Gastelum could really make 170 be healthy, like if he got Mike Dolce on speed dial and said, Mike, let's work this out. let's just make this work out, baby. Come on.
Yeah.
70, we both know 70 is where it's at. And if they actually did figure out a way to get a good meal plan, drop him down the way like Michael Johnson looked, Calvin's got way better hands.
Yep.
I mean, and Calvin's tough to take down. He's a real good wrestler. He never gets fucking tired. His endurance is phenomenal. And
Compact, hard to get underneath and take
He's a
down. Yeah.
nasty southpaw, and that fucking right jab, straight left behind it is surprising. It's got snap to it. When he cracked Bisping with that shit,
Yeah.
and when it was like, beat, and you see Bisping's head snap back, you were like, there's some pop to that dude's punches. He stopped Vitor that way, same way.
Yep.
He's a motherfucker, that Kelvin Gastelum.
He is.
See, I would love to see that. I mean, obviously, Kelvin's campaigning at 185 now, and maybe he's going to stay there.
No, he wants to go back down 170.
I would love to see that fight.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. I want to see Kelvin versus Kamaru Usman. I think that's a real good fight because I don't think Kelvin's ranked at 170, right? Because he's been fighting at 85, right?
Right now he's not ranked at 70 now.
So he goes down to 70 in Usman's top 10. Immediately he's ranked, if he can beat Usman. And it's a big if because Usman's a hell of a fucking wrestler.
And 185 has some monsters at the top. Just monsters, dude.
Fucking bummed out that they canceled this fight. That
What?
Robert
Whittaker.
Whittaker.
No.
What
happened?
They threw in Yoel Romero.
Yoel Romero's going to
Oh,
fight
boy.
for the interim title against Luke Rockhold, which is a lovely fight.
That's legit, by the way.
But not a
What
lot of
happened
time.
to Whittaker?
That's February, right?
No.
When is that?
No, it's February. What I'm saying, but he was already on the card. He was supposed to fight
Yoel was?
Brunson.
Oh, okay.
So he was at least in camp for that date, which is huge.
That's good.
What's wrong with Whittaker? What injury?
Did they announce it?
I don't think they announced it.
Yeah, I don't remember
If I had to
reading
guess, I would bet it's his knee. His knee got fucked up in that fight with Yoel. Yoel sidekicked his knee and hyperextended it, and he came back and he said, my knee's fucked in between rounds, and still stuffed the takedowns and still beat him standing.
Yeah, he's as tough as he's Maori, right? He's got a lot of
but
Maori,
he's got
that extra.
He's got a lot of tearing. There's a lot of tears going on in that knee.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to figure out what the fuck to do about all that.
Your knees and your head are not made for combat sport. That's for sure.
Not at all.
Yeah, man, it's
care
a
how tough you
real
are.
bummer when guys start having knee injuries, repeated knee injuries. Like until they get that ironed out and settled in, it's like it's always suspect. That shit's always given out. And then your training changes, so then your ability inside the octagon changes. So many things change. And meanwhile, Eddie Bravo's over here hoping dudes get their legs ripped apart. He doesn't give a fuck.
Eddie's all quiet.
Really?
No, I just wanted you to talk. He'll be quiet. But
Javier Vasquez was a guy who was right about to break through, and that happened.
Javi's knees were fucked before he ever got.
I know.
Yeah. His knees are real
The
bad.
Alberto Crane fight. He couldn't stand up. King of the Cage. Remember that?
Yep.
Well, he had a blown ACL.
Yeah.
I commented that
and
fight.
fought.
Did you? I remember that fight. Yeah,
That was my last one.
I remember him
did it-
sitting
I did it
down. Like,
drunk.
couldn't,
He
couldn't
blew
do
it.
anything.
You were drunk?
Yeah, I took shots.
That's
I
hilarious.
I knew it was my last show.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh man, we went off. Me and Eric Apple did it. And
That's Eric. That's hilarious.
we went
Oh,
off.
Eric,
I got to see that
Eric
now.
Apple. Damn.
But Alberto Crane, great jiu-jitsu guy, and Javier Vasquez, great jiu-jitsu guy. And it was for the King of the Cage title.
Yeah. Well,
And Javi was like about to break through. That was supposed to be
if
like his.
Javi
and
just stopped
sucked.
from the injury, if he just let go and just say, "Look, I'm injured. I got to stop this fight," his career would have taken a completely different path. And his mental toughness, his ability to endure and fight with that ACL, and it kept blowing out during the fight.
Yep.
It just kept giving out. So he must have chewed up the whole inside of his fucking leg, his meniscus and all that shit. But still went on to be like a really good fighter in MMA and a really good fucking submission grappler.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fought in EBI a bunch of times with those knees. Didn't he run into some health issues recently?
Cancer.
He just
I
beat
believe.
it.
He beat
just
it.
beat
He
it.
got
Wait,
on the
who-
on the Gerson method.
Who is
it's Javi Vasquez.
What's the Gerson method?
a lot of juicing, like coffee enemas? Does that make sense?
Okay,
A
juicing,
lot of enemas,
coffee enemas.
something like I don't know, something like that.
What
but
kind of
look
cancer
into it,
was
and
it?
it worked. It worked.
What kind of cancer did he have?
He had colon cancer.
Colon cancer. Okay, so that makes sense with the enemas.
It's no joke.
Fuck,
Yeah.
man. So he beat it. That's beautiful. God, he's
At
young.
50, at 50, you should all have. Like I had to get my fucking colon looked
Finger
at.
up your butthole?
I got a clean butthole.
Oh, how's
now
it
they
look?
stick a tube up there. The
Did
camera.
you like wrap your legs around your arms like this here and like
It was a private.
and
it's
like
a
let
private
him in
com-
there?
That's a private. That's a private question.
Did you like get up in there?
He smelled like cologne. I'll
He's
tell you that
right now
much.
showing you.
My doctor smelled like cologne, and he was a really nice guy. That's all I'm going to tell you.
And he didn't wear gloves.
Yeah.
I
He
love
said
how
he
you're
couldn't
showing us
feel
how
it.
it's done, Joe. Like, check this
Yeah,
out.
That's how you do it, bro.
And his breath smelled
Bro.
like pineapple.
His pineapple breath.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. It's none of,
Pineapples
everything else is none of your business.
I was
that's
talking
awesome.
to a guy the other day that had mint breath over shit breath.
Oh, that's
And it was
terrible.
so confusing.
That's a terrible
It's like
situation.
somebody
Awful.
told him that his breath smelled like shit, and so he was eating mints, but it wasn't good enough. The
Now-
mints.
yeah.
So it was like it was. You know what it was like, man? It was it was confusing. It was like there's two signals that were clashing with each other at the
Do
same
you
time.
want to know what's awful for folks listening at home that aren't broadcasters? I'm not naming names. We're not going to name any names to broadcast with somebody whose breast stinks because they turn to you and you have to stay close to them to stay in the 2-shot.
That's a problem.
And you can't go. You can't react at all.
It's a problem.
And it is. I brush my teeth like religiously when I'm doing camera stuff because I'm in someone's face talking to them, and I've been on the receiving end of that and been like. This and you can't make a face. You can't do anything.
Yeah, after shows when you take pictures with people, guys,
that's got to be
girls
bad.
and guys. Sometimes you're just like, God damn it, I don't know what's going on.
They say when people don't eat a lot, like if you
acidity.
Yeah, is that real? Like if you
so there are different things. I know with chronic halitosis, apparently it's the sulfates on your tongue.
Whoa.
There's a so typically I guess the chemicals, I guess the sulfur, everybody has different compounds in their mouth. And for whatever reason, I don't know, but they're essentially what you're smelling is sulfur, is a derivative of sulfur or some kind of a sulfur. And it's because there's a chemical problem in your mouth. And they can actually address it with things. Yeah. And, by the way, halitosis can also be from liver disease. So if you have liver disease, you...
No shit.
Times,
liver disease makes your.
That's one of the ways they check.
Diabetes, liver disease, stuff like
about
that.
the breath.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, that's one of the ways they check.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then of course it can be an abscess behind your tooth and all that.
Yeah,
shit,
that's a big
disaster.
one, man. That's a big one.
But liver disease and diabetics.
Dude, I had a cracked filling, and they took the filling out, and the fucking smell that came out of my mouth, I was like, holy shit. Because the filling had cracked and there was an infection. I wound up getting a root canal. And so as I'm getting this thing like opened up, they break through this pocket where all this pus and rot is.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was so nasty.
That sounds awful.
It like you could hear it like pop through, and then just this fucking shit breath.
My father's friend, he was sleeping. His wife said, "You have to go to the dentist." So why? He goes, your breath is so out of control. And they've been married for 25 years. So he goes, Jesus, all right. So check this out. So apparently he had an abscess, a sac of bacteria in the back of his mouth. Well, when they I guess took the tooth out of the filling out and they popped by accident the sac, the nurse threw up. And the fucking dentist walked into the room at that moment and pulled his mask off and threw the fuck up as well. No. Yes.
No way.
It was a double vomit fest.
Can you imagine?
And that's so bad. Yeah.
So did she puke on him or what?
She didn't puke on him. She just puked. Did they pop the sack? She went... and the dentist walked in and went. He had his mask on. He went. He got his mask off just barely in time. Went like that.
Oh,
it was
my
that
God.
bad. Yeah.
Oh my.
That bad. Not a good
That's
situation.
so crazy.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
I never have the balls to tell someone their breath stinks.
I don't either.
I tell friends.
If you work with them, you have. If you work with them, you have to.
I would tell friends,
If you
and
work
I
with
would
them, you
want
have
them
to.
to tell me. Like, if
Yeah.
your breath stinks, I'm going to tell
It's
you.
the
I'll tell you.
worst.
And I would want you to tell me.
Of course.
That's one cool thing about black people. They'll tell you if your breath stinks. They will tell you. Black people have no problem with that.
I watched Flavor Flav on
I have no
Love
balls.
of Rock or some
I'm
shit.
a fucking pussy. I once got head from a girl that she would come over and give me a massage. She wasn't very good looking, but she was down to give a massage. And by the time you're done with the massage, you know she's gonna get to. She wanted to give me oral pleasure long time ago. But she used her teeth.
Oh boy.
And I didn't have the fucking courage to tell her that. I'm like,
You're
she
terrible.
thought I was enjoying it, but I was like, ow, fuck. She's going, oh my God. She's looking at me, winking at me and shit. And she's scraping her teeth.
Such a good guy.
Scraping it.
You're a good guy. 'Cause you don't
And
want to hurt
every
feelings.
time she came over, here we go. I'm trying to survive.
You like
I'm
grabbing
trying to
stuff,
survive.
you know?
I'm
Head
such a
full of
pussy.
blankets and couch.
I'm a pussy.
You were just trying to survive. Oh,
That's
my
so
God.
good.
A girl's pussy can reek, and I'm not gonna tell
No,
her.
I
man.
know, I'm
I'm
the
not
same
gonna
way.
tell
That's
her.
a
I'm the
tough
same
one.
way. I'm not
That's
saying
a
anything.
tough one.
I'm not telling
I'm
the
not
girl she
gonna
has bad
tell
breath.
her.
I got to be a gentleman, but
Okay, but if you're a girl
Yeah.
and you have a problem, you have a yeast infection, and if someone doesn't let you know, you're not going to get it treated. Like there's a problem. Like
it's true. It's delicate. It's a delicate situation.
But like, you're not always going to get a rational reaction.
I did tell
she
one
went,
girl.
"Oh, thank you. Medically, I feel much better." That's not going to be the reaction.
I'll tell you
they're
this
going to
story.
get mad at you. Isn't that weird? They'll get mad at you if their pussy stinks.
Well, there was a girl that I was in New York. I was a young man, and she was very sexy. And
I feel like the Incredible Hulk music should be playing
she
right
met
now.
me. She met me with a hat on. I remember this weird thing. She met me with a hat on. I picked her up, and she goes, "Good, thank God. I thought you were going to be bald." I was like 20.
Thanks,
I go,
dude.
all right, whatever.
Two bald guys here.
And she and I, we got to business, and then she began to give me oral pleasure after I'd gotten her kind of naked, and she had a hairy butt. She had a hairy back. Like, you know, some people can be super dark haired, and it was it was fine fur. It was very fine fur. It was it was girl fur, but it's still a problem, bro, because the hair fanned out. It started with the back, and it was on the old rumper stillskins, and that was very hard for me to keep it. I had to avert my eyes.
The old thing is, all girls.
No, was the instinct to laugh or to be like disgust? Like, I'm curious what the instinct was.
No, she had
she
had a big dick, but no, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. But no, it wasn't. I just kind of. There's no way I was gonna. What do I say? Like,
there's no good way.
You're too hairy on your back and your rump. I mean, you know, I just dealt with it.
I did pull out a medical book on one girl though. I liked her a lot, so I had to. She ended up being my girlfriend. I showed her that she had a B vitamin deficiency.
Wow.
And that's why it was
really?
there was problems down there.
Oh wow.
She got all into vitamins. She was a vitamin freak from that point on. And you know what?
But you did her a favor.
She never.
I went on a date with a girl who had the
since.
worst breath in the world, and she was from. I knew her in college, and I said to her friend, I said, she said, "What happened with her?" I go, "You want me to be honest?" I said, "Her breath was so bad I could smell it when we were standing at the elevator." And she screamed. She went, "Oh my God! We've always felt that way." And they were friends with her. And I said, "None of you told her? Her life is she'll never find somebody." If you don't tell her, I couldn't tell her.
Guys will tell you quick. Like a group of guys, I'd be like, "Joe, you got to take care of this now."
Yeah.
A group of guy friends will.
But I couldn't say it to the girl because I just felt, you know.
I would thank you. I think it's important. Paige Van Zandt loves that jump and switch kick.
She does.
That jump and roundhouse
Back
kick.
to the fighting, by the way, as we're.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Paige Van Zandt, and who is Clark? What is her first name? Ooh, nice leg kick.
Jessica Clark.
Is that it? You just make that up?
No, that's what it is.
Yeah.
The way you said it was like it was a tint of a joke to it.
Ooh,
wow.
Superman
Paige
punch.
Van Zandt is throwing a lot of wild leaping in shit.
Casey Halstead, head instructor, 10th Planet Las Vegas, is working with her.
With Clark?
Yes.
Or with Paige?
Clark.
Isn't it funny how I feel bad about telling that story about the girl with the hair on her back, and it was 25 years ago.
Well, I mean, you know.
Paige,
I'm sure she's not listening to this.
I was going to say,
you outed me.
That jerk.
Paige loves that jumping roundhouse kick.
Paige is busy here, man.
Yeah, but she's she got tagged like several clean. This girl Clark has some clean striking, good counters.
Yeah, now see that was a problem when we were talking about the Cyborg Holly Holm fight. She would get in quick and then eat that counter every time.
Paige is in trouble. On her back, side control. Not good.
What do you want to do here? Stand up right away, or what?
If you're on the bottom,
if you're Clark,
either get guard or get up. Those are your
Brian, you're hilarious.
generally.
What do you want to do here? Win?
What do you want to do here? Do you want to drive your fist into her face here?
Want to kick her ass? Hook. One hook.
Ejibrav. I need Ejibrav there.
Oh, standing arm triangle. Paige.
She could jump to full guard right there.
Yeah. Right? Ooh, come on, Paige.
You mean, what's her name?
Clark. Yeah, Clark.
Yeah, she has an arm triangle, but it's hard to finish standing up.
Oh,
you can do it.
Now here,
it's much more serious.
As long as she...
Paige is in trouble.
Yeah.
3 minutes to go. She's in trouble. And she doesn't have the best guard.
Now, you want to be on the phone here, don't you?
Oh, yeah. She wanted to be on the phone.
You know She's off. She's off
the phone now.
She's off.
No, she's still not
She's
out of the
still
woods
in
yet.
trouble, but not nearly as bad. Plenty of space.
Why? Because her elbow?
Yeah, it's not tight
It
to her
keeps
neck.
the elbow from going across your neck. If you're like this,
so you
your
want to
elbow
extend your arm here?
You want to be here.
Yeah.
Here's not as good. You want to be on the phone, but even that, if somebody's real strong, it's not going to save you.
She wants her right arm to underhook her neck or head.
That didn't help Brian Stan when he got choked out by a chill. He was on the phone there, and
It can still.
The guy's got a real
strong
squeeze.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: she's got to get out of this half guard, and she wants to be on the same side as the choke.
Zach
Ideally,
Mccarthy had his leg in the escape, and Dantes put him out. Damn. Didn't
yeah,
matter.
it could,
Some dudes are
especially
weird. Who did you
if
train?
you do the impaler, do you know Eddie? You still use that knee to the chest when
yes, I brought it
separating
back
that.
recently, yes.
The impaler's legit. Like that knee, that escape where you're holding onto your own knee.
Yeah.
It's not good enough.
Yeah.
The guy knows that impaler move, and he gets that knee to your chest and puts that crush down. I like that all day. I think the time you spend defending that, you're getting your ribs crushed. It's so much pressure on you, and if you make the decision to try to defend that and push that away, you're going to give up more of the choke.
Eddie, how do you get Tony Ferguson prepared? I mean, it's kind of a weird question, but with that kind of wrestling and that with the same kind of pressure, how do you deal with that kind of pressure? Because
we've been working on that since
day one, right?
Yeah,
you mean
since
like
day
getting
one.
prepared for Habib?
How do you get prepared for a dude who?
Well,
can
he's
wear
not
you
really
like
necessarily
that?
fighting Khabib yet. We don't.
Yeah.
There's no schedule, but that's my prediction. My
You got to be
prediction
thinking
is-
about it. You got to at least be
If it
thinking
doesn't
about it.
happen
in
next,
training.
it's going to happen
Yeah,
eventually.
I think that's
it's going to happen. So we prepare for that. You know, when we were working on the Rafael dos Anjos fight, we were still thinking wrestling. You know, Khabib's in the mix. We have to be working on
Get him
countering.
off your back.
Hey, it's not going to be.
Constant
It's not going to be
pressure,
easy.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it paid off big in the Kevin Lee fight, right? Beautiful triangle
same
from his
thing.
back.
Yep.
He's
Same
just-
camp.
he's
Kevin Lee's
relentless.
wrestler, good passer, loves to take the back, has a good rear naked choke.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, so Paige is in a lot of trouble here. She's just defending and fighting for her life here off the bottom. And Clark has not really advanced any further than this one position where she keeps trying to get this head and arm choke. She can't quite get it. Would you, Eddie, would you like to see her like in a situation like this where she keeps going to it over and over to go? Would you like to see her just try to get out of that half guard first?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Keep the position, you know, keep that head on the ground, keep her arm trapped, but you got to pass the guard.
She's slanting a nice elbow.
Got to get to the chopping block.
Okay, she's slicing through now. Now because
but now it's got
Paige, because Paige went after it. Okay, that left leg's in play. Oh,
And back to half guard.
yeah, but almost out. Oh no, back
Not
down
enough
again.
time.
No,
Not enough
time's going to
time.
run out.
She's just gonna try to smash now.
Might as well.
Ooh. That's it.
Half guard is the same whether you're trying to pass it or whether you're trying to use it. There are submissions from half guard, and there are submissions when you're passing half guard. They're just hard to pull off. It's always easier to get around guard.
Do you remember Higgins?
It's always easier to get around guard first.
Eddie, do you remember
Always.
Higgin Machado's version of the Twister? He had a different version of the Twister.
Yes, yes. He asked me to show it to him one day, and I was like, I was a purple belt, and I couldn't believe a black belt, a legend like Higgin Machado wanted. He called me over and wanted basically a private on the Twister.
Yeah.
And he remembered it wrong and came up with a whole different version. So he called it the Higgins Twister. And only like 3 people can do it. And it's amazing, though.
Yeah.
It's amazing, man. Ryan Gregg is one of his black belts. He was.
remember
he-
Ryan.
I remember Ryan Gregg very well.
He's the best at it. It's a crazy. I wouldn't know how to show. I wouldn't know how to do it right now. I don't.
Oh, interesting.
It's weird. It's very strange.
What would you say that only a few people can do it? Like, what's the separating thing? Like, what keeps them from being able to do it?
It's just so unorthodox and so crazy. It's like some kind of pro wrestling move.
But it's almost
But it
like
works. It's
from-
legit.
But what I was saying, it's almost like from half guard, right? Like on top in half guard.
I don't even remember.
Oh, that's
it's just
interesting.
it just twists the
That's
body in a
interesting.
weird way. It's kind of.
Oh, nice.
So in a regular twister, you would be underneath with your half guard locked around the left leg, and you would be pulling on the head with your hands clasped together. But his was from the top position, right?
Is that Higgin Twister?
Is that Higgin Twister? Oh, here we go.
It doesn't say that. It says
Half guard back take to twister. Oh, this is different.
that won't be it. No.
This is
It's
different.
got to say
Yeah.
RIGAN Higgins Twister.
Higgin Machado Twister. He had his own weird. He might not have ever put it on YouTube. Probably highly likely did.
But it might be up there. Someone might know it.
This video
Interesting.
came from that search. That's why I was
Oh,
kind of
okay.
guessing.
Oh, maybe
It's
it is
so
that.
amazing. It's endless.
It really is, man. Oh, look at
Such a
Paige.
beautiful-
Paige gets to take down.
I'm
Paige on
jealous
top.
of I should have stuck with it. I'm jealous.
Well,
of
you can
anybody.
still go back to it, man.
I might. I like boxing so much.
Dude,
but I-
Anthony
Sam Tripoli
Bourdain
came back.
Did he?
Yeah.
When?
He started recently.
Beautiful.
Yeah, with Scott Ross. He
Beautiful.
went down the other day.
Beautiful. Where's
the most
Scott at
incredible
these
sport.
days?
He's teaching at HQ,
In the daytime?
daytime and nighttime.
Well, Cron has a school in
Culver City.
right, and or is it Playa Vista or Culver City? Yeah.
Yeah, right on that
Yeah,
border.
you could go there.
Yeah.
Look, you're in Venice. You're near a lot of places.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that could teach you down there.
Easy.
And there's some, and well, your boy Hanato's still down there.
Yeah. He
Hanato
moved his
Magno.
school. Yeah, I gotta
Where's
go
he
down
at?
there. I don't know. I gotta figure it out.
He's still in the
But
same spot.
Yeah. I like boxing so much though. It's so hard. But I miss it.
It's so hard.
It's so fucking hard.
You mean physically, like just tiring?
Learning how to fucking spar, learning how to like slip a jab.
Don't you miss
learning how
throwing
to-
kicks?
Yeah, of course I do.
So why don't you take Muay Thai?
I'd like to. Where's a good school?
There's got to be a bunch near you, dude. Anybody who can't find a good MMA or karate
I know,
or
it's so
jiu-jitsu
true, right?
or
It's so
anything
true.
school in MMA in LA, rather,
is crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
this
it's
is
all
the
over place.
spot.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, how many goddamn jiu-jitsu schools are there? Eddie, how many 10th planets are there just in LA?
I'll go to 10th Planet.
Let's
That's what I should
call
do for
LA
my-
the Southern California area that
I'd be
doesn't
cheating
include
on
San
Eddie
Diego.
if I went to.
Yeah.
How many 10th planets are there here?
Including San Diego or not?
Let's not include
Not
San
including
Diego.
San Diego.
Just the
LA
LA
County.
area.
LA,
Yeah.
like probably 10.
Isn't that amazing?
It's crazy.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's crazy.
amazing.
Almost 100 worldwide.
It's amazing.
damn,
It's
dude.
amazing.
That's a
Yeah,
lot.
Eddie the
I can't
Innovator.
believe it. I can't believe it.
Hashtag balling.
You earned it.
Yeah, for sure.
Figured it out.
I work hard.
You do work hard.
And you're innovative.
Thank you, sir.
You're both.
You're an artist.
I don't think anybody gets by in this crazy competitive world unless you got both.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be working hard and you gotta be thinking hard. You gotta be creative, but you also gotta be disciplined. Oh, full mouncha!
Nice.
Full mouncha!
Full mounta.
Ooh, 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 ooh! Oh, taking it back. Oh, beautiful.
Going
Paige
triangle,
Van
though.
Zandt.
Triangle.
Oh, real
Right
close.
into it.
Real close. Almost.
gonna tap
So
her.
close.
Oh, yeah,
So close.
Should be a
So
Dunsky.
close. Not quite there.
should
Not
be,
quite
though.
there. You got to get. Oh, now we're talking.
Just going armbar.
Now she's fucked. Paige's fucked.
Yeah, because
Well,
it's under
she's-
the armpit.
She's like 8 out of 10 fucked.
she can, if she pulled the arm across, she'd be totally fucked.
Now she's fucked more.
It's a lot of time. A lot
What
of
do you
time.
do here?
Well, you have the armbar option under
get
the
it.
armpit, or you pull it across and get the regular triangle.
Oh,
No,
All
Paige,
she's
saying
got to
what
do is
Paige
pull her head.
does. What
She's
Paige-
just got to pull her head.
what Paige is doing right there is a good move. Punch her in the face.
Yeah.
Punch her in the face. Get that arm
She's
free.
going to take that
Committed
arm
to
right
the
there.
arm now.
Oh,
Yeah,
Paige is
there you
tough
go.
as shit.
Fuck yeah,
She is tough.
Fucking tough as
She's a little animal.
A lot
she
of
really
time.
is, man.
She's got to pull her head. That's all.
Cover her nose
That's
now.
all she should be thinking.
Now
Is
it's-
pulling her
yeah,
head. Just
now-
pulling her head. Pulling her head.
She's trying to get that
Pull
arm on the
the
other
head.
side. Yeah,
Now
look
then,
at
now
this,
she's
look
got
at
it.
this, look at
Now
this.
she's got
Oh,
it.
the full wrap
Oh,
'em.
shit.
Wrap 'em. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
That's got to be
That's-
very tight.
She ain't gonna tap, man. I'm telling you, this girl doesn't go to sleep. She's not tapping. You're gonna have to put her to sleep.
Damn, Paige is tough as shit.
There it is.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh no.
Look at all the time. 37 seconds to go, and she
got
might
time.
make it out of
You
this
got time.
fucking
You got
round.
time. You got time.
Paige is an animal.
She is an animal.
I'm so impressed with that girl.
So am I.
I mean, how many girls are as hot as her that are that fucking tough?
Yep.
Oh,
By
it's
the way,
going
I
over
think
the
they're
foot
both.
now.
I think they're both adorable.
Okay, someone's horny.
Maybe that's because I'm an old man.
It's
I
over
get
the foot
creepier as I get
now.
older.
Not as good.
yeah, she's dropping bows.
Dropping hard bows.
She's got to go over the ankle, toes up.
Oh, Mom,
She's
it's
over,
just-
over
That's
the
a very
foot too
deep
much.
triangle,
Yeah,
man.
she's got to angle and finish, and she's going to run out of
You
time.
got 10 seconds. You got 10 seconds.
Oh.
Come on now.
Why isn't she pulling the head? That's
Yeah.
really
She
shocking
hasn't
to
really
me.
committed to it.
No pulling the head. She was trying to
Dude,
wrap the legs
she's
up.
up.
She was trying to pull with the legs.
There was a Ben Saunders fight. He fought a guy, Brian Baker, and a fight that I called, and he was doing like 10 different moves, and he ended up losing that fight. And at the end, he's in the middle of these transitions, whatever. And I think my broadcast partner at the time goes, "Man, this is great transitions." I go, "The problem is nobody taps to a toe hold triangle armbar wrist lock. It's the one you commit to, and too many guys, 5 transitions. Look at his transition. But yeah, but the one that gets you is the one you commit to all the way, 100%. And he didn't do that enough. He rounded up going in, losing a decision.
But if he chained to one and one stuck, you'd be impressed by it.
Right.
It's all a matter of whether or not one sticks.
But what I didn't see that commitment to that one. In a
Right.
sense, you know what I mean? Like, I think she had the armbar and the triangle was kind of halfway with all of them.
I think she just needed to pull the head.
Yeah,
If
that's-
she just grabbed the back of the head and just counted to
commit,
10.
commit, have faith in your triangle.
Yeah.
I tell people, I say, have faith in your triangle. Too many people go triangle, it doesn't work in 2 seconds, and they go to the armbar and let the guy breathe again.
I
I
think-
think commit to your triangle.
When you deal with someone
Let
like
it go.
Paige Van Zandt, it's the difference between trying to put someone to sleep and trying to make someone tap. You can't try to make her tap. You got to try to put her to sleep. I really think that's what you got to do with her. This little girl's a savage. She's a little beautiful savage.
But she's down 2 rounds to none to me.
Yeah, but she's still got those crazy switch kicks, man. She's super athletic with that shit, too. She goes from the outside, and then she commits to these wild jumping roundhouse kicks.
Damn, guys, I got to run.
Oh, you
kills me.
fucking fuck.
I know, I got to pick my family up.
Well,
Damn it.
you got to do what you got to do.
I know.
How about you stay for 10 more minutes?
I will.
All right. Thanks.
It's a bad idea, but I'm doing it.
That wasn't a hard sell either.
There's
you
no
went right
traffic.
for that.
There's
You
no
just
traffic.
gave right in.
You're okay.
Well, I got to stay
You're okay.
and watch this at least.
Yeah, you just got to tell your family they can wait.
They're just going to have to wait on the curb.
Yeah, you're in the airport.
Deal with
It's
it.
safe. It's
Deal with it,
America.
kids.
You're not in Guatemala. Fucking
My
babies.
wife's got that flu. I had that flu for 10 days.
Dude.
I got a viral
I got it
rash.
too.
When
Did you?
I had it too.
I was
Jimmy, when we were
down.
doing our podcast and I was coughing.
Stay away from me,
I'm
dude.
done now. But
How long
remember
were you
when-
down for? I was down for
I was
10
down for
days.
2 days. But you know why? Because I saw it coming. Oh, there's that jumping roundhouse kick. I saw it coming and I was like, you know what? This don't feel normal.
Right.
This feels like a little extra.
So you slept.
Yeah, I just stayed in bed.
You got it.
The beautiful thing of being self-employed.
My son got it.
Fuck.
His
So
friends
cute. Your
got
kid
it.
is the
His
cutest
friends'
thing.
moms got it.
Sucks.
Yeah, my youngest got it, and she got over it in a day like a little Wolverine. My kids eat a lot of probiotics, man. I got them eating BioK and different probiotics and taking probiotic little snacks. Fuck, it makes a big difference. So important,
Can't
man.
you take too many of those?
I don't know.
Have
Can
you heard of Sheila?
Talking about healthy food.
Have you heard of Sheila Jat? It's
Yeah.
the tar from the Himalayas. It's loaded with trace minerals. And
Sounds like it's from the Himalayas. No,
it
what do you?
tastes like garbage.
Oh, yeah?
But
Oh.
supposedly it's a shit.
She's got to be careful with that over and over and over again, going to that well with that jumping round kick. Because if a girl's got a real good right hand and she times that shit,
Take you right off your feet.
yeah, take you right off your feet, and you're gonna get fucking hurt because she's throwing it and she's fully committing to it. Meaning, like she throws her arms into it, so her hands are down, her chin's up in the air like it's on a flagpole. And it's a beautiful technique if it lands. The problem is she KO'd Beck wrong. See, she just tried to go do it again. Like, that well is tapped. She's going to that well a lot.
Hands are down too when she's coming in that kick.
She, when she KO'd Beck Rawlings with it, it was so sensational. I think that's become like her shit.
You get hooked on it.
Yep,
They get
yep.
hooked on that feeling. I've
Yep.
seen it all the time.
Yep. Oh,
Nice.
She can take a
Ooh.
punch too, man.
Clark is much cleaner with the striking. She's doing like basics, technical basics, and she's got a good timing with her right hand.
Clark's definitely had 2 rounds to nothing.
Oh,
right
for
now.
sure.
I would say, yeah.
For sure. See, it goes again. She's going to it again. And you watch when she does it, that left hand goes right down to her hips. It's fucking
I
so
like it.
dangerous.
She might be.
It's good every now and then. But right
nice.
hand.
Damn,
It's
man.
just,
She makes her pay every time she comes close with those.
if you're doing that against a man who is a
Oh,
KO
shit.
artist, oh,
She
nice
almost
left
landed
hand.
that flying knee.
Hey, dude, she could land it. But what I'm saying is she's making it very obvious that that's her go-to shit. She does it so often, and it's an unusual move. See, she's trying to do it right there. She takes this big step, and then she tries to jump and throw around. I mean, who the fuck does a jumping round? She does 2 in a row right there. Who the fuck does this that much?
Yair Rodriguez.
No, more than him even. She does it more than him. She does it more than anybody. This is like her go-to shit is a jumping switch kick. Like, that's crazy.
I don't even care if it lands.
Look
It
at
just
that.
looks
She did it
good.
again. Oh, left hand behind it, though. It does look good.
At least she's doing something.
Yeah. Well, look,
Yeah,
she's
getting
going
caught a lot,
after it,
though.
man. She's going after
And
it.
she's behind.
Yeah, she's going after it. She's trying to win by knockout. Paige Van Zandt impresses the shit out of
She
me.
does. She's so
She's
tough.
And again,
Just keeps coming.
cute
man.
as a button.
Yep.
Cute as a button
Tough
and a
as shit.
fucking barbarian.
Yep.
Good athlete, good movement.
If you like white
Is that
chicks,
Jimmy?
I suppose.
Hey, did anybody see Clarissa Shields fight last night?
No.
Paige Van Zandt has a broken arm right now.
She does?
What?
Yeah, she tore her corner after the first round.
Which arm?
Doesn't-
Must be the left,
doesn't
right?
Say, yeah.
Yeah, the left. She's holding for
Yeah.
me.
Yikes.
Wow.
That's probably why she keeps throwing that
Yeah,
kick.
that's probably why she keeps throwing it.
Yeah, it's definitely the left. See how she's extending it? She's
Aye.
not punching with it. Wow, that's crazy.
Ouch.
Yeah. Wow, that's fucking nuts, man. She must have got kicked with something. Oh shit.
Still game. Still going at it.
Still going for it.
Tough as fuck, dude. Well, that makes sense now why she keeps
Yeah.
going to the well with that jumping round kick. That's what
Ooh.
she's got from the left side. Oh, damn.
Yikes. Oof.
Oh, kick to the body. It's a good scrap.
What's her name?
I like Clark's fundamentals, man.
Yeah,
Clark
that's what I'm
looks really
thinking.
good, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Oh, it's her
Yes.
right arm. Interesting. It's her right arm. Wow.
Broken
Wow.
the bones in there.
Wow. She goes right to the right. She's
Remember
not-
Rich Franklin, Chuck Liddell? He's like, yeah, I can feel it clicking.
Yep.
He would like turn it and it would click.
Yeah. And KO'd him.
And KO'd
even
him.
with a broken arm. And split his lip open. Remember that horrible
Yep.
injury?
Yep.
Love you guys. Gotta go. Thank
right,
you so
Bryan
much
Callen.
for having
Very
me.
nice meeting you.
Good to see you,
Nice
my
to meet
brother.
friend.
Thanks for
I'll
coming
leave this
by.
wine
Thanks
for
for the
you.
cheese. Thanks for the wine.
course.
I'll leave the wine here for you the next time we do a podcast together.
Come see me in
Where are you?
Columbus.
Where are you,
Ohio,
hilarious
at the funny,
Bryan Callen?
At the Funny Bone. September.
One of the best
January
comics in the world.
25, 26, 27. Then I'm in at the DC Improv.
I heard that
February 1, 2, 3. 4.
New Columbus Funny Bone is fucking sensational. I
excited
hear it's
about
one of the best clubs going.
Yeah.
They, you know what they did? They revamped it. They moved the whole front bar area. They took it out.
Really?
Expanded the showroom. It's huge now.
Ooh.
It's very nice.
I'm excited.
Yeah, tell Dave I said what's up.
January 25, 26, 27. I'll
Beautiful.
tell him.
Beautiful.
Thanks, guys.
You're
DC
a
Improv.
fucking animal.
I'll see you later.
BryanCallen.com, all that good stuff with a
All that
Y,
stuff.
B-R-Y.
I'll leave you. Should I leave you?
Thanks, brother. Yeah, just leave it there. We got ants. They'll take care of it.
Very nice meeting you, man.
All right, say hi to your family, brother.
We'll do some history shit on the next podcast.
Love you, man. Bryan Callen has to leave. Someone cares about their family more than they do about random people listening to a podcast.
Which is weird.
bullshit.
I mean, different
Fucking
planet.
Bullshit. Fucking bullshit. What are you talking? We hear you. Shut the door. What's he trying to do? He asked what the main event was. He has no idea.
Yeah, so that was the main event.
He's like, this is MMA, right? Bryan Callen is on a podcast that is about fighting, the fighter and the kid, and barely pays attention to the sport. I mean, it's like his big gig is him being on the podcast, and it's half the fun is Brendan going, how do you not know this? How do you not know this? So Shab is home right now with the flu.
Is he?
Yeah, that's why I called you. I called you today. He was.
I'm the backup. That's cool.
Listen, I'd
I'm
call
the
you
new guy.
anyway,
I get
but
you.
he was going to be here, and it was last minute. He's like, dude, I'm too sick. He was working in Portland, and he's like, I'm coughing so bad I can't do this. I said, my man Jimmy Smith's around.
There you go.
Jimmy Smith's so gangster, ladies
Drive
and
here in
gentlemen.
half
I just
hour.
want you to know, he drives here in a 1968 Firebird stock.
Yes.
Fully stock.
Yeah.
Stock seats, stock brakes, stock hoses. He's driving a 1968 car like it's 1968.
Yeah, it's my only car.
And that's how he
all
gets
people always
around.
are like, how do you? They know it's all I drive. I don't.
That's very gangster.
Are you a mechanic?
No, I just I like I can keep up with certain things, but I'm on the road so much. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't. Like it would be in a garage all the time, and I don't have that.
That's very gangster. But
Yeah.
what if
I
you
had a
have to go to
69 Barracuda before
meetings?
that, and it got
Yeah, you were
rear-ended,
telling
and I had to get it replaced.
Yeah, the 69 Barracuda is a beautiful year, too.
It's a monster.
An underappreciated year. I had a 70, and that's the bigger body. That's
Yes.
the different one. And everybody knows that one. Because
the
that's the
Hemi
one.
engine.
Yeah, and it's also like what the new Challenger looks like, right? The new Challenger is like sort of a version of that. But that older one is really unique in the muscle car world. That 69, 68 Barracuda. It's a weirder shape.
Harder to find parts for.
I bet.
Yeah, and to get the dash from like a junkyard in Ohio or some shit. Yeah.
Well, you know what they're doing that's really interesting now? A lot of companies are. There's a new company, Steve Strope was just telling me about it, that are making a 1969 Camaro from the ground up with all new parts.
Yeah, I've
they're
heard of that.
making everything, all the fenders. They're making the subframe. They're making the doors, the dash panels. Like they're making a 1969 Camaro. But it's not from 1969. It's from 2018.
I've heard
crazy.
I've heard about people doing that same thing, but the internal parts are all like eco-friendly. But it runs same frame and everything. I mean, they're doing crazy shit now.
I've heard of that. Yeah, there's a Mustang
Yeah.
that's like an 850 horsepower electric Mustang that someone in Texas made. And it's a 1968 Mustang, but it's just some fucking beast fuck electric engine. Wow. Paige Van Zandt with a spinning back fist there. Oh, that's when she broke her arm.
That's what it looks like.
Oh, wow. She broke it on a spinning back fist. That's crazy. Fuck. Yeah, these bones are weak as shit, man.
They crack so easy. Once again, Tim Sylvia, Frank Mir.
Yeah. Yeah, and try to keep fighting.
Remember every booing Herb Dean?
Everybody was so mad.
Herb's like, and then they saw the replay, like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we had to point it out in the replay, too.
Yeah.
We had to say, slow it down, slow it down. What's that? That's a broken arm. Like, that thing is not supposed to bend like that.
All right, what was your worst on air in terms of like, oh fuck moment?
Corey Hill and Anderson Silva, those 2 leg breaks.
Yeah,
Both of them. I think Corey Hill worse because the referee didn't see it. Yeah. And so I threw my headset off and I jumped up and I was screaming, "Stop the fight, stop the fight," because the referee was in an odd position. And the leg, he kicked, the leg snapped. I saw the leg go rubber. I saw his leg go down. I saw him go down. And then I forget who he was fighting, was on top of him, hitting him. And the referee wasn't aware.
Wasn't on it?
He just wasn't aware. He was in a bad position. You know, he's looking at the punches being landed. He didn't realize that the leg had been snapped. Those 2 were the worst.
Oh.
Yeah, there's Corey.
Yeah. We did one. It was.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, so the
he
referee's
falls on
over
it.
there. And Corey Hill, rest in peace. He died a few years back. Oof. That Ngannou knockout of fucking... Oh, so that's the UFC Performance Institute. I went there 2 weeks ago when I was in Vegas. Holy shit, is that place impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, have you been there, Eddie?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Amazing. Did Tony train there?
No, I had a meeting, an EBI meeting.
Oh, right.
The UFC.
Oh, nice.
Forrest gave us
they
a
gave
tour
me
of
the
the place.
tour.
Yeah,
Forrest gave me a tour, too.
Amazing.
How amazing is that place?
Dude, it's incredible.
It's one of the coolest places I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, my God, I want to live here.
Dude, and then the screen where you can record your sparring, and it's like an NFL thing where you can write notes and circles and all this shit on and give it to your coach. It's amazing.
They're recording it in 360 degrees, so they can look at you from any angle.
Yeah.
It's fucking incredible. It's so cool. And then they have all these different recovery stations. They have a cryo machine that goes down to like 240 degrees below zero and then up to 170 degrees above zero. You can go hot, cold inside the machine. Like, which is what the fuck,
It's crazy.
man.
They have like 3 pools of different temperatures for like rehab.
They have 2 pools that are different temperatures, one really hot one and one really cold one.
Yeah, that's
One's
the room
like 50
right there.
degrees.
And there's one to your left.
Oh, that's
there's
me.
like
That's my video.
Oh, okay. And then there's a treadmill to your left in a pool.
And that's Angela Hill's on that one right here while I'm filming, and she's running. There she is. And
treadmill
she's
pool.
running on this treadmill that lifts and lowers, and you could watch your running form on these little screens. You could see, I think I cut to the screen. She was joking around about her, but you could check out the screen and you could see like your form to make sure that you're landing ball of the foot first, you know, with proper running form. The fucking whole place is incredible. They have sleep pods that you get in. They're like these lounge chairs, and it's like some sci-fi movie with this big egg comes down over you. And like
the Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you
well,
lie
right there?
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sleep pods. So you're lying down there. It's playing music and shit. Dude, off the charts. I mean, they have everything.
So last week, I'm on your podcast, and I can say it now. You were talking about the Performance Center. Well, I'd gotten a tour of that when I met Dana White and everybody like 2 weeks ago. So I was like,
whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was trying to be like, whoa, yeah, what do you know? Yeah, so anyway, I got a tour of the thing. It was kind of funny
if you said, yeah. Oh, that seems familiar.
I remember that.
Yeah.
It was nice. So Forrest is amazing.
Yeah, we were hoping that we were going to be able to
Announce it that
on
night.
the
We couldn't.
podcast, but things take time.
Paperwork, man. It takes a minute, you know?
Yeah, and hey, congratulations to our boy Big John Mccarthy. for
Big
getting that
John,
gig.
dude.
That's,
Called him.
He'll be very good at that.
What gig?
He's the new
Took
Jimmy
over
Smith.
for me at Bellator.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He'll be great at that. He'll be great at that. I think he's going to be awesome at that. We're
Yeah,
trying to
good
work
dude.
it. I didn't know he was living in Vegas.
Yeah.
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 He moved. Got tired of flying to Vegas all the time for fights. So he just fucking moved to Vegas. That's the kind of guy Big John is.
He is, man.
But he lives out in the burbs. He's not like on the strip going to fucking Hakkasan every night.
Yeah, I think he'll do a good job, man. I do.
No, he'll be
I
great.
really do.
He'll be great.
I was really happy about that, personally.
Yeah, he'll be great. You know, I mean, you talk about a guy who's seen literally every major fight. I mean, he was the go-to guy for over a decade. Like, every big fight had to have Big John McCarthy as a referee. You know, after a while, a lot of guys have gotten, like, some of the calls for some of the big fights. But
Yeah.
he's the gold standard. And the guy knows so much about the sport. And he's a legit black belt.
He's not going to ref anymore?
No, he's not going to ref anymore
No.
for a while, but he always could go back to it. Do you know he's got 2 or 3, might be at least 2 fake discs in his neck, And then I think it might be 3. And then he just got some shit fused too.
Damn.
Yeah. That jujitsu's a motherfucker.
Yeah.
There's a motherfucker in your joints, man, and your back. You hear about so many people. I got this thing I want to show you, and every grappler should get one of these. You should get one for the gym. It's called an iron neck, and it was created by this guy who is a former football player, and he created it to deal with CTE. He's like, a lot of what these guys are getting, they're getting from their head getting snapped, and he's like, and I think you can mitigate a lot of that with neck strength. But a lot of the different things that people create for neck strength, this is him. Show me how to do it. We got one here. So you strap this thing on your head, you pump it up. It's like a Reebok pump. Remember those pumps where you press the it gets real tight to your head, and then you're pulling on that bungee cord. That black cord is 50 pounds of resistance. And so I'm pulling back, and he's like straightening out my posture, and then there's resistance and turning the band. Phenomenal.
Wow.
I love that thing. I love it.
How often do you do it?
Whenever I want to. I have one in my house, and I have one here. So I do it all the time. I did it yesterday. It was part of my workout yesterday. I like to start off my workout with it. I put that fucker on, and I go through a whole series of Stevie Wonders. It's like you have it on your head, and you go like this. And what it does is, you know who's real big on it? Aaron Pico. He loves that thing. He said it turned his neck into a weapon. You know, and for me, I had some pretty big problems with my neck for a while. I think from 2 things, from not tapping, and 2 from head and arm chokes, because I was doing a lot of head and arm chokes on this side.
Putting pressure on that side.
You're always using your neck. You know, your neck becomes a part of your game. And I never really strengthened my neck other than training, and this has made a big fucking difference. Is that Johnny Hendricks, or is that like a fat guy who looks like Johnny Hendricks? Not Johnny. It's not Johnny Hendricks. Sorry, fat guy. You're not really fat, bro. You're not fat. You're not ripped like Michael Johnson, but you're not fat. I'm just talking shit. But that machine is like one of the best methods I've ever found of strengthening your neck, stabilizing your neck. Edit that out about me calling that guy fat. Sometimes you say things, you're just talking shit.
Yeah, it just comes out of your mouth.
You don't mean to.
I forgot. I'm on.
If you listen, buddy, I'm fat too.
To.
But this machine, actually, he's not fat at all. But this machine is fucking phenomenal. I'm a giant fan of it.
Interesting.
And you can either have it on a bungee cord, or some people put it on one of them cable machines. Like I would imagine if you were some Francis Ngannou fella, you would want even more resistance. Oh, that's in Austin. They're doing that at the On It gym. I'm a big fan of this thing. I think every grappler in particular, because how many people have fucking neck problems?
Oh, I mean, to not have them is weird.
Yeah, it is. And I think this is a great machine, but I think there's a bunch of other things you should do as well. I'm a big believer in shrugs. I think for grapplers, just protecting that whole area, building up all that muscle in the back area. You get them fucking Overeem traps. Remember Overeem when he was the Ubereem? He had those traps.
Unbelievable.
They started at the top of his ears and dropped down.
Yep.
You know what I got recently that I'd like to recommend is, I have something really wrong with my right shoulder, and I like to sleep on my side. So sometimes, man, I wake up in the middle of the night and my shoulder's sore just from sleeping wrong on it.
Yeah.
It sucks putting all your weight on it. And after a while, and I got the flu like you did too. I got it last week for a day. I was in bed for 24 hours. And man, my shoulder was killing me from being sick in bed. So I got this pillow that's for people that have acid reflux. It's a sloped pillow, and there's a hole in it where you could put your arm under, and you sleep on the side. I'm in love with it.
I've seen that.
Called?
It's called. I've seen that.
It's called Medcline.
Medcline.
It's
like
awesome.
decline?
And you could sleep both sides, and there's like this snake pillow that goes through it, so your arm is feeling beautiful. There's no pressure on it, and you're on your side.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's weird.
That's it.
Oh, that's weird looking.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm in love with this thing, man. It's incredible.
No shit.
Yes, I think maybe that's a big part of my shoulder problem, maybe. I'm thinking because
sleeping weird?
Yeah, just like I sleep on my side, and I know that you're not supposed to. You're supposed to sleep flat on your back, but I cannot sleep flat on my back. I got to be on either side. I'm always switching from one side to the next.
Well, when you started lifting heavy again, after you got those cortisone shots. You said your shoulder was feeling amazing.
Yeah.
And then you told me you were doing bench. I was like, oof. Like, bench is one of the worst things for your shoulder.
I should have never got a cortisone shot. That was the big mistake right there. I got talked into it by a doctor. I went into the doctor to get a prescription for an MRI. Mm-hmm. And I told him my shoulder's just doesn't heal. It's just constantly bothering me. And he did a couple tests, and he said, hey, you don't have any tears, but what's wrong is the tendon that's connecting your bicep to your shoulder, it's thrashed. But if we put a cortisone shot in there, you'll be fine. And I grew up a big football fan, and I always thought cortisone shots is what an athlete takes, to play the rest of the game, but he's going to pay for it afterwards. But just to get through the game, give him a cortisone shot.
Right.
I thought it was just a painkiller. And that's what I told him. And he said, no, it's a big myth. It actually heals the tendon. And I said, really? I said, okay. So he did it. He said, don't do shit for 10 days. I didn't. Then it actually did. It felt amazing. And then I started lifting again. And I started lifting heavier than ever. And then in about and dude, like all the time, I started doing your little, that routine you were talking about. Some Russian said that you're supposed to do the same body parts, like, not just once a week, but like, every time you go in, hit the same body parts, just don't hit them that hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Remember that program?
Greasing the groove, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I started doing. But then I started working the same body part every time I went to the gym. I did chest hard every time I went to the gym, back hard every time I went to the gym. I was doing a complete body workouts. It just slowly morphed into that. And I always wanted to go to failure. And then within 2 months, the pain started coming back, and then it just slowly progressed, and now it's worse than ever. So I'll never
get an MRI.
Yeah, no, I am. I just got the prescription for that last week. All I got to do is go in now. I'm going to go get that checked out.
Man, it's such a common injury.
Yeah.
So many guys have shoulder problems.
But that pillow, though, is helping.
Yeah.
That pillow is huge.
I'm going to get one then.
That's interesting.
That looks awesome. All right, we're about to hit the main event. Jeremy Stephens just showed up. Oh, shit, Jeremy Stephens. He's a tough fucking out at 145 pounds.
He is.
That's a big 45er. I mean, he's fucking big for that weight class. And he's coming off of that fight against... Who the fuck did he just fight? He had a real good fight against a veteran where he kicked the shit out of his legs. I want to say Jim Miller. No, but that would be 55.
Dude, 13 first-round finishes. That is amazing.
Yeah, 13
That's
first-round
amazing,
finishes.
right?
7
Think about
wins
that.
by knockout. Second most knockdowns in UFC history. He's an animal.
He's a beast.
So he beat Gilbert Melendez his last fight.
Second most knockdowns in UFC history?
Crazy.
That's incredible.
He's a fucking animal. Remember his
Jesus Christ.
KO of Dos Anjos? Yep.
Shit.
Stunning uppercut. Boom. Neck snapping uppercut. He's a fucking animal. Dennis Bermudez, that flying knee against the cage. Jeremy Stephens. Hani Jason, that head kick. Woo!
He's got a ton of them, man.
Woo!
That's his thing.
He's a fucking animal. I'm excited about this fight, too, because Duho Choi brings it, and he's got a clean right hand. That right hand comes down the pipe like a piston.
Isn't he going to the Korean army, though, for a while?
No, that's Chan Sung Jung, the Korean zombie. He went 2 years in the Korean
He came back.
But this guy's got to go,
as
too.
well?
That's what I heard,
They have
right?
compulsory service, so I mean,
maybe.
He has to go.
And I'll do eventually.
Wow, that's a bummer for guys that are like world-class fighters. They should give them a little break. Let them put that shit off.
Nope. 2 years, baby.
Yeah.
Sacrifice.
Duho Choi. Here we go, baby.
It is a. I mean, from a ruler standpoint, it's actually a great idea. Make everybody go to the army for 2 years, right?
It's not a bad idea if you want to instill patriotism in people too, and an understanding of like what it means to have a country.
Yes.
Like what does it mean to have an armed service if you're just some soft, fat little pudgy fuck like me sitting back letting the soldiers do all the work. If you actually have to go and do it yourself. You're actually over there.
All they got to worry about is North Korea. That's it. No one else is messing with them.
Well, China's on the side of North Korea. That's part of the problem. That's part of our problem with negotiating.
They're still
with
technically at war. Most people don't know.
North Korea and South Korea?
Yeah, they signed a ceasefire. They never signed an armistice. Oh, wow. So there's no peace treaty. They just we'll stop fighting for right now, and it held for 50 years.
What the fuck happened to Hawaii the other day?
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? I
they're
found out
fucking
from
with us.
Kelly Slater's Instagram. I was like, what? There was a fake nuclear or a fake missile warning that a missile was coming in, and they said it was not a drill.
Like, how is that a wrong button kind of thing? Like,
Yeah,
you imagine that would like go through a few people before it goes out to the whole state.
Like,
and,
you know how you have that thing when you're getting a phone call and you have the option,
right? Exactly.
To like say, hey, I'll call you back. I'm driving. You know, like it's one of the 2 or 3 options you can just press.
Yeah.
Is one of them, hey, an intercontinental ballistic missile's headed your way, Hawaii?
It's like, oh, here's weather, here's missile, and you hit the wrong. No, it shouldn't work that way. It shouldn't be anywhere near like that. No. It went to the whole state.
So stupid.
Yeah, and Lee McFarland was on her Instagram. Was like, yeah, apparently there's a missile. Same shit. I was unbelievable.
People were fucking crying and freaking out. Apparently, yeah. I have a friend who lives in Hawaii.
You know, that's a state that's been hit before.
Fuck yeah,
militarily.
Yeah, right.
So
you got to think. I mean, the memory of Pearl Harbor. There's people who were alive back then.
Plenty of them.
Jeremy motherfucking Stevens. Dum dum dum. This should be war. I am very excited about this.
There's certain guys who don't know how to have a boring fight, and Jeremy Stevens is one of those guys.
Yeah, he's one of them. He's a fucking animal. And he's looking forward to this fight, too, stylistically. And a lot like the Gilbert Melendez fight.
Yeah. Gil's another guy.
Yep. I want to see if he goes right back to that same low calf kick. He had so much success with it in that Melendez fight. I mean, that essentially took Melendez out of his game plan real early. He looks like such a wolf with that crazy beard. Remember when boxing didn't let guys have beards? What the fuck was that about?
People were bitching about Canelo's hair when he fought Triple G.
Interesting.
Then it was, oh, his beard is too long. It softens a punch. Yeah, I don't buy that at all.
Seems so ridiculous. That was like something that they used to say. Like, you used to have to shave your beard.
Makes sense, though. It's a big pad.
Ooh, Duho Choi landed his 2 hard leg kicks in a row.
I just can't imagine it realistically softening a punch to make a difference. I mean,
I kind of see
you have
what
to
you're
show
saying,
me something.
Eddie,
Yeah,
it's a
I mean,
pad.
yeah.
Maybe if you have
kinda.
a Kimbo slice beard, because you have that thick hair. Oh, there's a nice one by Jeremy. Duho Choi is tall for the weight class, man. 5'10 and a half, 146.
Oh, nice.
This is a...
You know, people complain about weight cutting all the time. You know, we've talked about it a million times, but you see how big these fuckers are. You see why they do it. I mean, it's crazy.
If you can do it, it's worth it. What's interesting is what California's doing. You know, there's a bunch of guys like Marlon Moraes. They essentially, they're not saying that he can't fight 135 again, but they're saying, dude, you're a 145-pound fighter who's killing themselves to make 135. Yeah. Ooh, another one by Choi. So Duho Choi is having, right hand over the top by Choi. Oh, knee by Choi. Oh, shit. He looks clean.
Yeah, chin's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's relying a lot on his ability to read punches with his chin that high.
Yeah. Maybe. How do they decide if someone misses weight in a certain weight category 2 or 3 times? Then automatically,
that's a good way to do it. But there's no hard fast rule in terms of like how the UFC approaches it. It varies depending upon the individual circumstances. But with California, Andy Foster, who's the head of the athletic commission in California, is in my opinion one of the very best in the world. He's real proactive. He's super on top of things. He's instituted a bunch of different weight classes. They've added 65, 75. They're adding more weight classes, which I think is critical. I think that's the future. I really think we spent way too much time with 20-pound gaps in between. Oh! Jeremy Stevens tags him.
2 in a row.
Yeah. Oh, and then a good leg kick as well. I think we spent way too much time with a minimal amount of weight classes, with these 8 weight classes. I think we could use more. And what they've decided is that if a fighter is a certain weight when they weigh in, they can only be a certain weight more when they fight. So they're weighing guys when they weigh in, and then they're weighing them right before they fight. And guys like Marlon, he gained a shitload of weight. I think he gained 17 pounds. Sorry if I'm wrong. But I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 17 pounds, which they were like, get the fuck out of here with that.
So what happens when you show up the day of the fight and you're 20 pounds over? What do they do?
I don't think they do anything yet. I think they're recommending you move up. So the real problem would be what would happen if Marlon Moraes won the title at 135 pounds, which he's world class. I mean, that's a real.
Yeah, it's certainly a possibility. It's not out of the realm.
It's not out of the realm. He's going to be fighting. If everything keeps going well for him, the way the Aljamain Sterling knockout was, he's going to wind up fighting for a world title. And I think it's a great fight for TJ.
If you win a world title at 135, then you're 135.
Yeah.
You won that title?
Right. Yeah, I mean, he made it, right? But the UFC and, also the California State Athletic Commission, and even Nevada now, they're trying to do something, which I think is important, to do something about these fucking heavyweight cuts. We should talk about this fight. This fight's crazy.
Yeah, it's really good. Well, somewhere they were talking about if you missed weight, you weren't allowed to fight at that weight class for your next fight.
That's
I don't
smart.
remember where they were talking about doing that though.
That's smart too.
That was a plan I heard.
That's where you need
commissioner.
A George Lockhart or a Dolce or someone who has a wealth of
nice.
Left hook by Choi. Woo! Jeremy Stevens can take it too. That's the thing about
And he
Jeremy.
has a tendency to come forward when he's hurt. He just wants to throw more.
He wants to get you back.
Yeah. He's not a recoup and figure it out kind of guy. He wants some payback.
He's a fucking savage. That's why he's so fun. He's looking for something though. He gets creative in there though. I mean, snappy jab by Choi. Ooh, Choi has got some clean technique, man. Ooh,
Damn.
Firefight and good footwork by Choi too. Ooh, he goes to the body. Goes to the body with that left hook.
And he invites him in by keeping the hands just low enough to bait Jeremy Stevens in. But he's reading the punches really, really well.
He keeps tagging that fucking left leg of Stevens. That last one was strong. Ooh.
Good stuff.
Ooh, this is a 5-rounder too,
good.
right?
Of course.
So. Must be.
Yeah, main event.
That's a weird argument, right? Like, what do you... Like, when they changed the main events to 5 rounds, not just world title fights, but main events too.
I like that.
Yeah.
I love it. The more rounds, the better.
Yeah.
They should have more 5-round fights.
Definitely get you thinking, like, you'll figure out who the fuck is the best fighter, because oftentimes things start getting weird around the 4th round. But fighters make the argument, and I've heard this argument before, like, you only have so many 5-round fights in your body.
Yeah.
And when you're using them up on these fights where you're trying to get to a world title, like, by the time you get there, those 4th and 5th rounds are they're taking a toll on you. And we could potentially see guys with shorter careers because of that.
Yeah, well, and also think about what goes into a camp for a 5-round fight. I mean, it's 5 rounds harder for 8 weeks, 10 weeks, and you're starting to get into, I had this camp for a 5-round fight. So the camp itself is harder too, and you only have so many of those in you.
Yeah, there's no arguing that.
It's like boxing, it used to be 15 rounds. And they went, those last 3, really a killer.
Well, I think it was that Duk-Koo Kim. That was the fight, right?
Ray Boom Boom Mancini.
What a fight that was. And that was another weight cut issue.
Yep.
That was back when they used to make them weigh in the day of the fight.
Yeah.
Ooh, front kick to the face!
Yep. Referee committed suicide.
Oh! Did he really?
Yes, he did.
God damn. Which referee was that?
I don't remember his name, but I know he took his life.
Oh, man.
Or he got suicided.
Kick to the body. Oh.
Oh.
Jeremy Stevens with the left knee.
Oh, my God. Throws like Jeremy stole something from him.
Jeremy throws haymakers. He tagged him with that right hand. Who the fuck is more savage than Jeremy Stevens?
Not many. Oh, switch elbow there.
Elbow by Choi. Nice.
Looked like a jab, then turned it over.
And a leg kick. Strong leg kick by Choi. Well,
and a lot of people would hesitate at this point to throw that many leg kicks when the guy's got a right hand like that, and he's not hesitating.
No, he's clearly prepared well to avoid it and to counter, make him pay. And that long, stiff jab of his helps too. Got a little reach advantage as well. Jeremy's 5'8.5", so he's 1.5 inches taller, maybe 2 inches taller. Ooh. Oh! No! Beautiful timing with that right hand. Snapped his head back. Ooh, nice jab, too, there. Jeremy getting that timing down.
Choi's taking it well, though.
Yep. Well, he took it well in that Cub Swanson fight. He took a hard leg kick there, too. Now he's...
Tide's starting to turn a little bit.
He's walking him down. He's walking him down, switching legs and looking for those big shots, and throwing throwing some off-speed punches to close the distance.
I think a couple of check lefts would be good for him. Choi's coming in once again with that head straight up. But Stevens just loves walking forward, man.
But he's such a fucking animal.
Yeah.
I mean, he just loves these firefights, the opportunity to test who's the tougher guy. And especially at 145, there's just... Oh, he tagged him! Right hand!
Might be it. That was good. Good leaping shot, staying with the left hand.
Oh
my God.
Oh!
Done.
Oh, that's it. That's it. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
What a fucking right hand. He is an animal.
Dude.
Oh, he just broke that guy's back. That guy's dead.
Oh, that guy's fucked.
Who is that guy?
Probably his dad.
Oh, that's
Imagine.
beautiful.
He's playing it off.
Oh, man, that's beautiful. Whew. What a fight, too, huh?
But as soon as that tide turned, as soon as he felt like I can walk through these punches, it was over.
Yeah. Fucking animal. Guy's a savage. He's such a savage. Jeremy Stevens.
Great stuff, man.
Fuck. That was awesome. Woo! And he could do that to anybody. That's the thing. He takes it so well, and that attitude that he's got, that fucking ferocious attitude. Now, here's what's real impressive. You think about Choi's war with Cub Swanson, and you think Jeremy Stevens just smashed him inside of two.
That's impressive.
Look at that. He got front kicked in the face. It was almost like a crescent kick. Took him on the side. Boom! Right hand. Boom! Snapped him back with that one. That was the beginning.
That was the beginning. That was the head snapper.
Yeah.
That was it.
And that one over the top, he caught him right on the temple. And his legs going. Boom! Look at that. Jesus Christ.
That's the one
That's
right
the big
there.
one. Oh, my goodness. Boom.
That was great.
Boom. Boom. Good job. Fuck. Hell yeah.
Good stuff, man.
It's a good fucking fight. Well, boys.
Steven's always going to be that guy, dude.
Dude, that leg
fight.
toss, big over right hand.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? King Mo, Seth Petrozelli. Did you see that one? He cleared his legs and bombed him and out. I mean, eyes wide shut. It was crazy.
Now, he fought Max Holloway, correct?
Stevens?
Yeah.
Probably.
I feel like Max Holloway beat him in a clear decision. See if you can pull that up. I think Max Holloway beat him on the way up to the title. You know, it was a good fight, too, for Holloway. He really avoided all of Jeremy Stevens' stuff. Yeah, there you go.
Max Holloway.
Max Holloway. Decision unanimous, 3 rounds. But that was in 2015,
a little over
3 years ago.
Yeah.
To December of 2015. Interesting. You know, gotta think, with a KO like that, he's like 1, maybe 2 fights outside of another possible shot, or a possible shot at Max, now that Max has the title. I like that. I like that a lot. Very interesting.
But once again, always fun to watch.
He's a fucking
You'll
animal.
always watch him. You'll always watch him.
So much fun. So next week is the big world title fight in the heavyweight division. And what does the undercard look like, Jamie? Pull up the full undercard for Francis Ngannou versus Stipe Miocic. I think this is like the most important heavyweight title fight that I can remember. I don't remember a heavyweight title fight that people are...
Biggest one in a long time.
Yeah.
Because once again, Stipe has the history side.
Yeah.
He has the I can be the greatest of all time or up amongst them. And
yeah, and if he could turn back
Ngannou's
Francis...
so scary, yeah.
Yeah, the last time I think I was this interested in a fight was Junior Dos Santos versus Kane 1. What do I do with the lighter?
You had it.
I have it?
Oh, here it is.
Right there.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, here we go. So we got Stipe versus Francis is the main event. Oh, Daniel Cormier versus Volkan Ozdemir. Ooh. That's interesting. Because Volkan, like, he got a quick ride to the title. You know, I mean, he beats OSP in a real close decision, knocks out Sirkunov, then knocks out Jimmy Manawa when everybody's like, holy shit. 3 fights in, and then boom, next fight he's fighting Cormier. It's just the way he was able to knock out Manawa and Sirkunov. People are like, listen, let's see it.
And also, I mean, it's a division where there was room for that new guy. Mm-hmm. And he was, you know, the right guy. We've seen it a million times, the right guy at the right time.
Right guy at the right time. And by all accounts, in the gym, he was one of the only guys that was sparring with Rumble on a daily basis.
Yeah.
He was Rumble's main guy, which is...
That says a lot.
Oh, yes, it does. Rumble's talking about coming back as a heavyweight.
Check out the shot right here. Oh, no, they didn't show it. It was before.
Yeah, the one big one, the big one.
The
over
leg
the top.
toss. They showed the big shot, but they didn't show it set it up.
Here it is. Boom.
That was nice.
Yeah, and then the
It's
big
right
one,
here.
the big one is he
That's
throws
right.
it to the side.
Nope.
Nope.
One
Stands
more.
up,
Yeah.
stands up, chucks him to the side.
Right.
Just because they know you're
Jesus
talking about it.
Christ.
Is the left, he threw him the left leg, or his left arm on the right leg. Fuck yeah, man. I feel like he's at the top of the heap now. So who else we got here? Interesting. The big fights, the two big fights, obviously, the light heavyweight title and the heavyweight title, which is really rare that you have.
I'm so out the mix with the UFC. Most of that card, I don't know any of those fighters. Like the bottom half of that main card, I know Thomas Almeida. That's it.
Yeah, there's so many guys, man. Rob Font and Thomas Almeida is a good
Yeah,
fight.
that's going to be good.
That's very interesting. Rob Font's a Boston guy, too. He's one of Del Grate's guys. That should be a lot of fun. So, Jimmy Smith, when's the first time they have you working?
Well, I'm doing the pre and post for 220.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you're
so
in
I'm
the
the Fox desk.
in California? You
Yeah,
do
in
that from
California
there?
here at Fox. Yeah. And then they've offered me a couple, and I've accepted them, but they haven't announced it yet, so I don't know.
Oh,
I
so
don't know
you
if it's
can't say
official
it.
yet.
Right,
so.
okay.
But soon is the best way to put it.
They just
Color.
I'm assuming they just trust you, right? You don't have to do any bullshit like test shows or anything like that. Because I've heard of
that I'm
guys,
aware of.
I've heard of guys doing test shows. They try people out and shit.
Not that I'm aware of. No, I mean
Yeah.
it's already.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's. I would imagine that
doing
the real hard gig has got to be finding one of them play-by-play guys that doesn't annoy the shit out of you.
Here's the deal. No, but
Yeah,
no,
that's-
seriously.
That's a real job right there. Colors,
Yeah.
colors easy. Doing play-by-play, that's a real job.
But
That's like
they
being
do a lot more of
news
them.
anchor. What was that?
But the difference between color and play-by-play is we're specific to a particular sport. I mean, we can call grappling and combat sports and
Right.
whatever. Play-by-play guys do. I'll do basketball one week and then hockey and then
Exactly.
this and
It's
then
a-
that.
it's a job.
It's a job, but there are a lot more of them. You can go, okay, he's good at basketball and soccer. You can see a body of work before they jump in. Color,
Right.
a lot of times it's, we need a guy who knows the sport, and there are only so many.
That
It's a
can talk.
yeah, it's a very different job, very different
Totally.
skill set.
But
Yeah.
people get real angry if you don't know MMA. If you're like a play-by-play guy and you say some goofy shit and you don't really know the
The
sport,
hardcore MMA fans get
so
mad.
mad.
They get
Yeah,
mad.
they do.
they get
They
mad
freak
and they don't
out.
forgive you either.
They don't.
If they don't think you really know the sport or really love the sport, those two things are critical.
Yeah.
You have to really know it and really love it. Otherwise, they're like, "Fuck you."
People hated me when I commentated for King of the Cage. Every show I had to say something stupid. Every show I had to say
There
something
it is,
stupid.
Eddie. He just did it. They just showed it. They just showed the big Jeremy Stevens haymaker. Oh.
I sucked. Oh my god.
Well,
that was terrible.
You didn't think of it as a. You know what you were really good at? You were really good as the guy in between the rounds that was explaining who won the fight. Like when you and I, people don't even remember this, but we worked together. It would be Goldberg and me, and then for a bunch of cards, you would be beside us scoring.
unofficial
You were the
judge.
scorecard guy.
Yeah. So he had, but Eddie had a real system. Like we talked about it, and I was like, "How are you doing this?" And he had a really well thought out system where he had a line down a piece of paper, and he had a bunch of categories, and he had all these different things, whether it was takedowns and so he marked all these things on top of watching the fight. He wanted to know, like, be able to look down on it, like,
Yeah.
oh, he landed all these right hands.
Yeah, I could look at the end of the fight.
Yeah.
They go to me. I have to talk about what happened in the first. Oh, I gave him the second because remember that second he had 2 takedowns. But if I didn't write it down, I would forget.
Yeah.
So as I'm waiting to go on, I'm reviewing that first round. It's
Right.
a lot easier to see what actually happened because you forget, or anyways, I do. I would forget unless I wrote it down.
The funniest thing to me, or the most frustrating thing to me, is they wanted me to do scorecards, kind of like unofficial scorecard, whatever, just like you did. And I would do it, and every time I never wrote down a number without explaining what I was talking about. I gave it 10-9, it's a close round, but I gave it because of this, this, and this. And people would always act like you just threw out a fucking number without saying anything. What was he thinking? I said what I was thinking. I never just wrote down 9-10. I always said, and here's why. You may disagree, but here's my logic behind what I'm saying. You can disagree with me, fine. But the people that act like I just write down a number without explaining, it's insane. I'm so not going to miss that.
Yeah, commentators get crucified. When I did post-fight interviews once, I said congratulations to Randy Couture. I said congratulations, Chuck. or it was the
no, that's what you did. Yeah, that's what you did.
And I didn't realize I said that. And when I walked out of the octagon, who was it? Joe Silva goes, dude, you said congratulations, Chuck. I said, what? What? Oh my God, I'm gonna get fired. I thought I was gonna get fired right there. And I went up to Joe and I said, dude, did I say congratulations, Chuck? You go, yes. I'm like, oh no, this is my last show. I totally thought I was getting fired, 100%.
I can talk about this because we joke about it. We joked about it in Bellator, but Jen Brown one time we were in, and it was a live piece. It was just to the house, so it didn't go out on air or anything. It was just for the house.
Jim Brown football? Jim Brown? From
No. Jen Brown, who does stand-up stuff for Bellator. Okay. We were in Vacaville, Oklahoma, and she said we had been in Kansas the week before, and she goes, "Hey, Kansas!" And the place just died. And she turns to one of our producers, she goes, "Oh, you know that they really didn't react much." And the guy goes, "You said Kansas, we're in Oklahoma." And so we laugh about that. We always joke about it. I love Jen, but for weeks it was, what state are we in, Jen? We just meant forever. But it was just an in-house piece. It didn't go out on TV or anything. It was hilarious.
That's lucky.
But now we've all done.
Knows.
Yeah, we've all
everybody
done.
Heard
everybody knows that she messed up.
It was on the underground. Dude, people were talking shit.
I've called over 1,000 fights. I've fucked up a bunch of times.
Oh man,
the human brain just doesn't work perfect. You make mistakes. Sometimes what drives me crazy is I have a very good recall for fights and for scenarios and positions that people have been in and ways guys won. But occasionally there'll be a guy and I can't remember his fucking name. And it's like weird. But it's a guy that I've seen fight like Jorge Masvidal or someone like that I've seen fight 100 times. Like, how the fuck why isn't that one coming out? It's like the brain is just not a perfect vehicle. It just doesn't always work right. It's like a Range Rover. They look beautiful, but Range Rovers work most of the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I have a friend who has a Range Rover, and I asked him, I said, hey, do you like that car? He's like, yeah, but this is my second one. My last one was a lemon. I go, fuck, I knew it. And he's like, but it's a great car. It's amazing.
When it drives, it's amazing.
It's like, that's like how a brain is. It's just not always good. So you saying, congratulations, Chuck, and then leave, and you're like, how did I do that?
I'll watch fights. Not necessarily yours, of course, but I'll watch somebody calling a fight, and I'll know when they spaced on the name. They'll start going,
yes!
That pause.
Yes!
And you're watching, you go, he spaced on his name, dude. And sometimes it'll be basketball, football, whatever, but I'll know as a broadcaster, I'm like, he spaced, he looked at his notes, and he got the name back, but he spaced on the fucking name. And it happens,
possible.
man.
100% possible.
It happens all the time.
My big fear is that I'm going to be interviewing a fighter after a fight, and then I can't remember their name when I congratulate them.
The biggest fear, bro.
That's
not just you, dude. That's mine too.
Before I go out there, I will write it. Like if it's a dude I've never seen fight before, like maybe won by first round knockout, I've never seen him fight before. I'm like, oh shit, who is this guy? He might have come from CFA or something like that. I'll write his name down. I'll read it. I'll say it back. I'll repeat. You might see me walking to the stage, to the cage, and I got my earpiece in, and I'm saying, blah 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 blah. I'm saying his name. I don't want to fuck it up.
You are not alone though, dude. That fear is huge. Because
like
you're thinking about the question too. Because you're thinking about what to ask them. And were we on air when we were saying this? We were talking about interviewing fighters is literally the hardest part of the job because they're
the post-fight interviews are the hardest
ones
because you don't have time to prepare for it.
No.
And then you have time to ask him one, maybe two questions. That's it. And everyone has their own question in their own head that they want to ask. And if you don't come up with something entertaining or creative, people talk shit on you.
It's also very important.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's also very important. This is what I tell people that are just trying it out for the first time, and then any young people that are thinking about getting into MMA commentary. You're not the show. Like you are just trying to extract information out of this person. Like your question should be just to lead them. I try to have as little personality in those things as possible. I'm just trying to just give you the platform. Yeah. I'm just trying to give you maybe a path to take your answer. I saw some beautiful things happen in the fight. I want you to express what happened in your mind, or maybe there's some adversity that you had to go through. I want to know how bad it was, but I don't want to be there. I'm just the guy that has to say those words.
Yeah, I hated post-fight interviews. I never enjoyed that shit.
The flip side of that, though, that I've run into personally, overdoing it too, is if your question isn't hey, great performance tonight, man. If it's too open-ended, a lot of times they go, yeah. You know what I mean? If you don't ask them something a little specific, they'll just kind of go, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't say, great,
they're kind of tired, they're out of breath.
Yeah, so it's that you want them to go wherever they want to go, but also if you don't ask something specific enough, sometimes they'll go, yeah, it was.
How shitty are those post-fight interviews with some of the dozens with a translator?
Oh, those are rough. You got to go back and forth. But honestly, sometimes that gives you more time. I always try to talk slow and give them something. I try to simplify what I'm saying. Yeah. But even then, sometimes I fuck that up. It's just, it's one of the weirder jobs.
Yeah, I never liked it. I never liked that at all. I never really liked commentating either.
I tried to get DC, when DC was doing it, because DC was doing a few of them, like we were doing it, and I go, oh, that's your job now, bro. He's like, fuck that! You're doing that, Joe Rogan, get in there! I go, no, man, you're doing a good job. I like sitting here. I'm just going to sit back. He was like, fuck that, because he was doing like the fight pass prelim ones.
Unless you're in the industry, you'd be surprised at how many people don't realize that there's a play-by-play guy and a color. They just see two dudes talking.
Yeah.
They don't know. I didn't know. I was a grown-ass man. When I first got offered the job for King of the Cage, I didn't know the difference. I just thought, yeah, there's two old dudes talking, and they're just chit-chatting. I didn't see the system and the art,
there's a problem, though. Well, the problem in MMA is that the color guy is the martial arts expert.
Yes.
And
that's the way it is in football.
But the play-by-play guy
is just the news guy.
Is just the guy. But the play-by-play guy in sports is kind of calling what's happening as well. He's saying, they're moving the ball, they're doing this, they're going this.
This formation is kind of...
But when you're calling a fight, especially when the fight goes to the ground, that play-by-play guy is not really saying anything, right?
Yeah, he could say he's in the mount, taking big shots in the mount. You don't have to be an expert to know that.
A little bit, but he's basically, he's like when Goldie and I had a great rhythm, because Goldie kind of laid off, especially when it would go to the ground. He would lay off. And he would just sort of he would set me up. Like he'd say, and he moves into the mount position, or he would say, something like that. And then he would just lay it up for me. And then I would elaborate on the progression of techniques and where they were at.
Yeah, that's what he's supposed to do that. That's the hardest motherfucking job ever. I didn't know. So I get this job, Bud Brudsman. He takes over the production part of King of the Cage, and he wants to use me as a commentator because the producer and I went to Jean-Jacques Machado Academy. He knew me as the MMA fanatic guy, and he asked me if I wanted to commentate, and I said, yeah, fuck, I'll try it. I didn't know shit. Those first King of the Cages, he didn't know there was a difference between a play-by-play and a color guy. The producer didn't know the difference because once I started really listening to the broadcast and the UFC, I started listening to the opening and how they open shit. I go, oh, there's two jobs here. This guy is just a news telecaster, and this other guy's the expert. Didn't even really realize that. I thought they were both experts.
They're just talking.
I thought there were two dudes just talking.
Totally
and they were both
different
experts.
jobs, man.
So yes, exactly. Yeah. Once I realized that, I talked to Bud. I said, "Hey, listen, there's two jobs going on here. I don't want to be the play-by-play guy. I want to be the color guy." He said, "Do both. You're going to do both." I go, all sports don't have guys that do both. You have a color guy and you have a play-by-play guy.
You explain that to the producer.
Goes, just to the producer.
To the producer. Okay, I just want to confirm. That's
He'd never done sports before, so he didn't understand. He just said, dude, you're going to do both. Both of you, me and Don the Dragon Wilson. We were both just in there. We were both just in there winging it. It was so bad.
What's Don the Dragon Wilson up to these days?
I have no idea. But those are some of the worst shows ever for commentary. the first oh,
You
man.
own it so hard, dude.
It was
you
so
own it, and I
bad.
love
It was
that.
so bad. Oh my
And
god!
then you did some shit for Pride too. People forget about that. You had that slicked hair.
Pride 10 with the Henzo and Sakuraba when Henzo got his arm
Guy
broken.
Metzger got headbutted by Vanderlei Silva.
Yes.
Bro.
You were saying that that Sakuraba was never going to submit Henzo.
Yes, that was one of the biggest blunders ever. Sakuraba has the Kimura grip in, and they're standing, and I said, I'm in the commentary.
Yeah.
I said that may work at his gym, but that's Henzo Gracie. It's never going to work on him. And then boom, he breaks his arm.
On cue. I call the fight. I call the
said
fight.
that may be working at the gym.
Dude.
But ain't going to work here.
There was a guy, Ed Wild West was fighting, and he had never knocked anybody out. Really good striker, but like, pitter-pat kind of striker. And I literally said, man, Ed's landing great, but not a knockout guy, and he instantly knocks him out. First one of his career right there, right in front of me. I'm like, he did that just to make me fucking look stupid. Thanks.
Oh, that's when it happens, man.
Good job, man.
Yeah. It's almost like the universe is punishing you for hubris. Like you're pretending you know more than you do. There's no just shut the fuck up. Say it looks good. It's deep.
There was
yeah. Seriously, you get in that habit of going.
Yeah. Who knows?
He probably will, but you don't know.
There was this one fight. Fernando Vasconcelos fought this one guy, and he schooled him.
Dude, I forgot about
Vasconcelos, dude.
Yeah,
He's
Black
like
Belt.
one of the great guys that
jiu-jitsu.
never really did it.
Fought Carl
right?
Parisian in King of the Cage. Remember that?
Fuck, he was
That was a
good.
great fight.
Carl fucked him up, didn't he?
Yeah, Carl won that fight. Yeah, I was there.
And he in a fight that he won, because he won I think 2 straight. He had good hands, and he wrestled, and he had a guy. He passed a guy's guard and had him in north south, and I said, this position is called, some people call it north-south, but if you look in old judo books, it's actually called the teabag. And then I just kept going, and Don the Drag, I never stopped there. and I would just throw those in. That's how retarded it is.
Oh, my
Just
God.
having fun.
Just to do it.
We
I just
didn't
having
take it
fun.
seriously.
I was, and Bud loved it. Terry Tribblecock, the owner, hated it. He hated it, but Bud loved it. The producer loved it. Every now and then, I would say some crazy, wild shit, but Terry hated it. And the director. No, Terry loved it. What am I saying? The director, Steve, he hated it. He was begging me to stop. Because I wasn't
Directors
being
tend
professional.
to be the
yeah,
tough
I wasn't
ones,
being
yeah.
professional.
Yeah.
But the owner didn't care. He loved it. So, anyways, I sucked regardless, but I'm a retard.
Well, we're all in
I
the
know
right
it.
spot.
I'm
We're
not-
all where we want to be.
I'm not born to commentate. That's not my thing. I look like now when people offer me jobs, I'm like, I don't want to commentate. I want to just enjoy the fight and just
Dude,
watch.
that's what literally
You know
what
what I
I
mean?
said to Dana when he forced me into doing it. Don't you remember when you and I used to get free tickets?
I don't want
I
to work
started
it.
doing-
I want to watch it
I
and just
started
relax.
doing commentary because I would get free tickets from the UFC. And this was like when the UFC first started going to Vegas.
Yeah.
And Eddie and I were like, dude, the UFC's in Vegas. This is crazy. We got to go. And Dana White somehow or another found out that I was a fan. So he started sending me, he's like, hey, we'll fly you out. We'll give you free tickets. I'm like, fuck yeah. And so we started going and hanging out with them. And I started doing commentary because when we'd hang out, I'd be like, have you ever seen Sakurai? Did you watch Pride? What do you watch overseas? Like, have you seen any of the Shudo fights? I'm like, you got to see this guy. And I'd start telling him about this guy and that guy. And
Shuto was my favorite, man.
Yeah, oh,
Hayota
man.
Maha Sakurai. Love that guy.
Yeah.
Love him.
Amazing fights. So I started talking to him about all these crazy fights that he had never heard of. And he's like, do you want to do commentary? And the next thing you know, I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to work.
And then boom.
I did
And then
the
here we
first
are.
18 shows for free.
I was sitting alone for a couple
of
shows. I was just all by myself, VIP front row. I mean, it's like, I didn't come here to be by myself.
We saw some classic shit though. If you think about like the history of the sport, like the history of boxing is an amazing history, right? But boxing from 1994 and boxing from 2017, 18 is not incredibly different.
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely, I think in all sports, the fighters get better and better,
Yeah.
but, you know, you're talking about, like, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, and then you look at, like, what we got today for heavyweights, like, arguably as good, if not better, back then, right? but not in MMA. We've seen giant leaps and changes in the sport.
I was telling somebody, I said, Jack Johnson has more in common with a modern heavyweight than a mixed martial artist does with a mixed martial artist in the late 90s.
You're 100% right.
By a lot.
You're 100% right.
By a lot.
Yeah. Jack Johnson might be able to beat a lot of
if you took him in his prime and taught him some stuff, he could compete.
Of course, sure, yeah.
You take
even if
Hugo
you didn't
Duarte
teach him, even if you didn't teach him anything, if you put him in there against some, top 30 heavyweight that, nobody knows, guys are like not that athletic, not that good, kind of okay, he would fuck a lot of people up. And then he would start making his way through the ranks. My favorite Jack Johnson story of all time. He gets pulled over for speeding. The cop says, you're speeding, it's $50. He gives him $100. He goes, I'm going to be coming back the same way in about an hour. Just take 100.
Awesome.
Because I'm going to be speeding again, bitch.
Yep.
And I'm going to be fucking a lot of white chicks.
Unforgivable Blackness. If you haven't seen that documentary, check it out.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
Incredible.
It's amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah, he's one of the best Roots of Fight shirts. The Galveston Giant. It's Roots of Fight shirts with him with his wingspan on the front of the shirt.
I used to box with a guy when I had a gym, and he was our boxing guy, and he had the history of the heavyweight title memorized.
Whoa.
So you give him any year, and he would tell you who the heavyweight champion was at that time.
He's one of those guys.
I had to memorize every president.
For what?
In order, when I was a history major.
God damn.
It's the kind of thing you just never let go. Once you have to do it, you're screwed.
Right. You don't want to unlearn that.
Yeah, you can't once you're stuck.
MMA in the 90s was fucking way different than this. Way different.
That's one way to put it.
Internet.
Right.
No internet. The UFC was huge and there was no fucking internet.
Yeah.
And the first taste of MMA, and to get any kind of fights, like Brazilian fights, you had to go to these specialty video stores, like Japanese stores where you rent taped TV shows. And
still had the commercials in them, dude.
They would
still on the commercials.
You'd watch Shudo, and on TV from Japan.
There's a place in Little Tokyo where I used to go, Little Tokyo here in LA. And when I was in college, when I was at UCLA, I started doing jiu-jitsu, and I used to go in there, and the guy didn't speak English, and I went to the front, and I'm trying to explain to him what I'm looking for, because I knew I had to go to like a Japanese store, and I literally said all these things he didn't understand me, and I said, looked at him, I said, Rumino Sato. And he goes, oh, Rumino Sato, and he points to this wall, and it's just covered in Shuto and Pride and Pancrase, and they had recorded off TV. And I went in there like every 2 days to get 3 more until I just knew all of them, because you couldn't find them anywhere. I had to go to Little Tokyo. The card for the video store was in Japanese. I couldn't read it.
And there was Valetudo. The Valetudo. There was the Brazilian scene. Federico Lapenda and Sergio Bardarelli. Those are the two promoters in Brazil that Mecha Fights and Valetudo. Sergio Bardarelli and Federico Lapenda were the two Dana Whites down in Brazil in the 90s, before the internet. And I remember my first taste of MMA news on the internet was at Todd White, my training partner. We were both purple belts. He was a cartoonist at Nickelodeon, and at Nickelodeon they had the internet there. So when everyone was gone during lunch, dude, we would do drills at Nickelodeon in their gym. They had an awesome gym. I would drive down there, and he would take his lunch in the gym, and we would do jujitsu. And then if there was like 5 or 10 minutes left over, we would like sneak into the offices and go into the internet, dude. And all I wanted to see was the Abu Dhabi Combat Club. Remember that? That was one of the first news. That was the only place really that you were getting news from these Brazilian shows.
That was a website for MMA. Yeah,
dude, MMA in the 90s was alive and well. There was a big hardcore movement, but there was no internet.
That's
dude,
interesting.
I mean, weighing in on, we were talking about last time, weighing in on a bathroom scale in Saboba and out in the desert somewhere, and it's just, you just wanted to do it. You wanted to be part of it. You didn't, it's hard to understand. I got paid $150 for my first fight or something, and well, first one I didn't get paid. Neutral Grounds, I fought at that.
Neutral
Grounds in San Pedro, bro.
Oh, shit.
That was my first fight, man.
Who'd you fight? Dean Lister?
I fought somebody from Submission Factory, Larry Landless's old camp. And my coach was Fabiano Iha, Huntington Beach.
Fabiano Iha.
He called me and he goes, it was Friday, and he goes, what are you doing Sunday? And I went, nothing. And he goes, you want to fight? We're fighting in the back of it was like in the back of a club somewhere, and they had set up a actually really big cage. And I went, yeah, sure. And they lined us up against the wall, and I was next to this dude, and they went, you're about the same size, you and him. Like, they literally lined us up, and it was like how big you were, because they didn't have scale or anything. And they go, you and this dude. And I went, okay. And I was the 13th fight out of 13 fights. And I got in there, and they said, all right, it's 2 5-minute rounds, because the rounds were all weird back then. People don't remember. It was like 3 3-minute rounds, 2 5-minute rounds, or whatever. You know, King of Cage a lot of times was 2 5-minute rounds.
Yeah.
I don't know why. So I get in there, and I remember thinking to myself, I didn't train for this. I've been doing jiu-jitsu 9 months. So I'm just going to give it everything I have for the first 5 minutes, because I don't think I have any more of that. And I went, I wonder what I'm going to do. And the bell went off. The dude fucking sprinted at me. And I hit him and knocked him down. And I got him in Fabiano's far side armbar, bro.
Oh,
in
wow.
29 seconds. And that was my first fight. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. This works. Fabiano was my first coach.
He was one of the famous armbar guys.
Really good
back in the day.
armbar. Really good armbar, man.
Yeah, he was a Brazilian hopeful. Like after Royce, all Americans that were into jiu-jitsu, we liked the Brazilians more than Americans. If we were training jiu-jitsu and we were white, we would be on the Brazilian side in any MMA fight, because you find out real quick that style is thicker than blood.
Yeah.
You know, you don't care.
Especially back then.
Yes.
Back then, nationality. How about when Minotauro beat Bob Sapp? You all right? Your knee go out?
Yes.
Oh, shit. The knee popped out. Ooh. Eddie Bravo has what I believe is probably a bucket-handled tear of his meniscus, and his meniscus will pop out, and it locks.
Want to get you some ice, man?
Straighten it out.
Sure? All right. Let me know if you need anything.
What do? Do you pull on it to get it back? I'm not asking him questions. I'm asking him questions.
Oh, fuck,
He's in some fucking...
It didn't go back.
It didn't go back.
It didn't go back.
He's in some pain. Oof.
It's real life, folks.
In February, Eddie is supposed to get knee surgery to fix his knee. You ever have any knee surgeries, Jimmy?
None.
None?
Knock on wood.
Oh, you're lucky.
Very, very lucky.
I had 3.
Hernia surgery is the only surgery I've ever had.
Oh, no shit.
I'm
He had
very,
that.
very lucky. Yeah.
Eddie had that.
Oh, there it goes.
There you go. You back?
Whoa. So is it pop back in place?
Fuck. Ooh.
Damn.
That looked really painful.
Yeah.
From where I was sitting.
Good now. It's back.
You're good?
It's
All
back. It's good. It's good. This is like the 7th time it's happened.
You ever seen this
I was
video?
sitting. I had my leg up like this. I fucked up.
Can you
Too
pause
long,
this and rewind this back? I want to play this video for you guys, because I call this video the thirsty white people video. Like, back this up. This is one of them testosterone videos.
Frank Thomas
Give
commercial.
me some volume. Oh, take it from the beginning. Good. Hold on. And and give me some volume. Like, pause it for a second. Okay, now give me some volume so we could all hear it. This is the thirstiest white people video ever. These white people are gawking about, what's the gentleman's name?
Frank Thomas.
Frank Thomas is a big ass football player.
He was a baseball player.
Whatever the fuck he is.
Whatever. He hit a ball.
But
Ball.
here's the thing.
Sports.
Sorry, big ass professional athlete.
Yes.
But happens to be an African American. Listen to how thirsty these white people sound when they're talking about him. Go ahead, play it.
Look, isn't that Frank Thomas? The big birds. More like the big hunk.
Okay, do it again so people can hear, because you got it too low.
More
You
like
got it
the
too
big
low.
hunk?
Turn
That
it
better
up.
be a
Can you turn
brother.
it louder?
If that's her husband.
Hold on, turn it louder.
Wow, Frank Thomas.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. You look like you could still be playing. That's what I said.
Well, I am feeling stronger and leaner. So,
Now, listen to this part. So what's your secret?
Wish my husband did.
I wish my husband did. Jesus Christ. I take Nugenics. I wish my husband did. She's standing right next to him, just begging for the
Dude,
dick.
that's a crazy
not
commercial.
even
It's the
creepy.
craziest,
That dude is like
thirsty
that,
white people commercial ever.
Oh, that's her gay friend,
No.
right? She said, or hunk. She said, or
No,
hunk.
that's her husband, and she's making him feel like shit. Look at him. And this guy's bench pressing and shit and throwing dick at all the white chicks in the gym. Guaranteed. How does he not? Like, how does he say no? They're literally backing that pussy up into a catapult and launching it at him. I wish my husband did, but he does. Look, it says smash. See that in the text?
Damn.
The text message? It says smash. They're talking about smashing pussy. That's what dudes say when they say, what happened? Oh, I smashed it. That's what they're saying. It says that in the thing. It says smash. What are you smashing?
Yeah.
God damn it, that's a thirsty white people commercial.
Do you want this stuff now? That's just what I'm curious about. Did it work? Is it effective?
I mean, it might work. It's probably bullshit. But what's not bullshit is the love that those white people have for that black athlete.
Yeah, that was a crazy commercial.
A crazy commercial.
Whoa.
More like a hunk. Like she's calling him a hunk in front of her husband, and then the other lady is saying, "I wish my husband did." Like, whoa! Slow down, thirsty white people. Slow the fuck down. Well,
there's a replay of your boy.
Yeah, Mech and Kamaru Usman. Interesting. Oh, see right there, that spinning back fist. He got tagged. Showed some good goddamn wrestling though.
And all entertaining fights too. It's a good card all around.
Yeah, it was a very good card. Very good card. Very good card. Very interesting. I'm so curious about next weekend. I mean, it's only 6 days away from today.
Yeah, man.
I'm so curious.
What do you think about the switch? You guys were talking about the wrestling move, the switch.
Yeah, the switch. Yeah.
You think how important do you think that is to train in MMA?
God, I think it's huge.
I think it's important to know for sure.
It's just one of many components, but it seems like an important move.
You'd think you'd see it more.
Right.
Wrestlers do it all the time.
But in MMA.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I know it's a wrestling move, but in MMA, you'd think you'd see it more. You see it once every 4 years.
Actually executed all the way through. Right?
Yeah. Right? You don't see it that often.
I didn't see it at all until a few years ago. It was like wrestlers just started doing it.
Yeah, like you would think you would see it all the goddamn time.
Yeah. It's a good move. It's very good.
So I just, it's in our warm-ups and everything. I just wanted your opinion.
Yeah.
If is it necessary? You never see it in MMA.
I think
you think so. Okay.
Yeah, I do. I really
It's got to be, right?
Yeah. I teach it to guys all the time. I think it's great. Personally, I think it's a good move.
Kamaru Usman talking mad shit. I wish I could have heard what he said. Paul Felder with a beautiful pocket square and a nice watch. Look at him. Handsome devil.
That's a nice suit.
Looks good.
It's a big watch.
Can you wear it again, though? Yeah. Can you wear it again? You could wear You could wear the suit again?
As in?
Nobody. They're all afraid to fight me.
Because Bruce Buffer has a different outfit every show. He doesn't wear the same one twice.
Well, let me just tell you, David August makes all the suits for the commentary team on the UFC. He makes my suits, and he tailors them to you perfectly. You see that one that's on Paul, or if you see the ones on me, I'm a slob, man. I would never bought those suits on my own. I'm too stupid.
Yeah.
They had to bring somebody in. But since then, I had him make me some stuff in my personal life.
Might as well.
Yeah, I had him. I hired him to make. Damn, Darren Tell's number 7. One fight with Cowboy, and he's number 7 above Neil Magny, which is crazy. That's interesting. But yeah, so the UFC makes you a few suits. I got a couple different color suits.
Nice.
I like 3 or 4 different ones.
So they don't allow that black shirt anymore?
Well, I have black shirts, but now I have like real clothes.
Real black shirts.
Real adult.
Expensive black shirts.
Like an adult.
I never wear black shirts.
Why?
Ever.
Because
everybody, I get so much shit every time. I told somebody I threw away, I had black shirts because they go with everything. I fucking throw all them away. For the people at home, by the way, Eddie Bravo outside as I pulled up thought I was Joe. Mistook me for, walked up to me like, hey, oh, hey, Jimmy. And I was like, he fucking thought I was Joe. And he goes, thought you were Joe, dude. And I was like, no.
He came in with an old-ass car. I thought
muscle car, man.
My
Firebird.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So, yeah, I don't wear fucking black shirts.
I'm so sorry.
Fuck you.
What's fucked up is that you were bald before me.
You
shaved your head before me.
I fucking freaked out when you shaved your head.
I tapped out later.
I was like, fuck.
Yeah. And
but it's cool,
while,
man. It's all good.
I apologize.
It's all right. No, it's just an illustration of the natural. My mom got us confused one time. I'm not even fucking joking.
Oh no!
I told you that story on the first podcast.
That's right.
I was at my mom's house. She was making me dinner, and I was going to watch UFC. So a lot of times I go to my mom's house. She's an amazing cook. She's Greek. You guys will have to come over and have dinner sometime.
All right.
So I went to her house. She's making me dinner. So we're watching the UFC. She turns around. She goes, "Oh, this is one of yours." No, Mom, that's Joe Rogan. And she goes, she fucking paused. She goes, man, he looks like you. I was like, thanks, Mom. I get this shit fucking 50 times a day on the internet. I'm going to get this from my own mother, but I still ate the food. I forgive her.
You got shit on the internet, but one of the things about you, dude, you don't toot your own horn, is like you're universally respected.
Thank you very
with
much,
people that know the sport.
Thank you.
You know, which is why I was campaigning to get you hired by the UFC years ago. I'm like, this guy's the shit. He knows his stuff. Finally worked. I'm excited, man. And I'm excited, too, for Big John. I love John, and I'm excited he got that gig. I hope that really works out well for him.
And I think it's going to be interesting. I understand completely kind of the step, and then I don't recall a referee ever doing commentary. No. I mean, he did Affliction. He did the first Affliction show, but it's a different perspective. He's seeing it from an angle that no fighter or coach is really going to see.
Yep.
And so I think it's great because any fighter is going to be compared to all the other fighters that do it. A referee, he's just going to have a different perspective, and I think that's a good.
Also,
I think it's a good choice.
If he does it with John, or if John does it with Mike, Goldberg and John are real good friends.
First show is Mike.
That's
I
perfect.
I believe.
Beautiful.
Don't quote me on that.
Because they're real good friends. So that should just be real easy.
Yeah, Mike's easy to work with.
He's great.
Mike's easy to work with. Mara was too. Both guys were easy to work with. They're very different, but both guys were easy to work with. Man, I was impressed with both of them. Honestly.
Yeah, Mike's a sweetheart. Look, we need more work for a lot of guys, but for what we do, there's not a lot of guys that do it. You know, there's Paul Felder, who I think does a fucking phenomenal job, and I would have loved to listen to him tonight if we weren't yapping. But he does a great job. He's a smooth guy, very smooth. I think Dan Hardy does a great job. Brian Stan was one of my favorites. I was bummed out when Brian left.
Yeah,
he prepared better than anybody. Brian Stan would pull out shit about training and all these different weird things that you didn't know about preparation and things that fighters do that this guy did that was unusual. And you're like, whoa, his preparation was top of the food chain.
It's a full-time job. Yeah. And people don't get that, in terms of like, when I'm not doing commentary, I'm studying fights all the time because I'm not just watching them. I got to sit there and study them, which is a totally different job.
What's funny is Joe never prepared for shit. It was he didn't prepare
I'm
for anything.
speaking for myself personally.
No, Joe would just walk on and just crush with no preparation. Maybe a couple thoughts, couple notes, but he wasn't preparing at all. That's what it was. It was hilarious. It's like it was too easy for you.
Well, it's all the things I do live. If you think about how much stand-up I do live, and then how much podcasts I do live,
like this is before the podcast.
That's true. That is true. Yeah. Well, the thing was, they wanted to have like some sort of planned out interaction between that's one of the things that people would freak out about. Like when we would do the beginning of the fight, and Goldberg would say, like, Matt Hughes fights Frank Trigg for the UFC welterweight title, and this is an important fight. He would. I didn't know what the fuck I was going to say. I didn't know what he was going to say. I didn't know what I was going to say. I had no idea. But I knew about the fight. So my point was, like, it was better to be in the moment and really care about this fight and care about what I think is going to happen and not have anything planned out. I just wanted to be able to go, this is what's critical in this fight, and we're going to know early on whether or not the fight's going to go one way or other based on a couple of parameters. And I would just go into those things, and then after it would be over, I'd be like, whoa, worked out.
Yeah,
but I tell new people,
too easy for you, man.
No,
too goddamn easy.
I tell new people,
he's the godfather of color commentary for MMA. Are you kidding me?
100%. But what I tell people, don't write down. You'll think about what did I write down rather than I tell people, I go never, play-by-play do, of course, but I go color, don't write down notes or don't write down here's what I'm going to say because you'll start thinking about what you wrote down.
And you'll sound fake.
It doesn't work. Have a couple bullet points in your head, what you want to hit, just know the 2 bullet points and you'll get through the open. And the open's,
I think the two most
15
important,
seconds.
The 2 most important things are you got to actually care. Like this has to be important to you. Like when Francis, I've been thinking about Francis and Stipe all fucking day. I'm gonna think about them all day tomorrow. I'm gonna think about if I'm bored and I'm in the middle of doing something else, I'm gonna think, what the fuck is gonna happen next Saturday night?
Yeah.
So you got to care. It has to mean something to you, and you have to know what you're talking about. So you have to understand the sport. You have to have a deep knowledge in it. You have to really care, and then it should just sort of work itself out. Like if you've thought about it and you okay, here's what's gonna happen. Stipe's got to get the clinch. He's got to figure out a way to get. He doesn't want to stand on the outside with that guy. The guy's got these crazy long arms, and you can't make a mistake. One punch puts you into orbit. So you have to be real careful with your closing the distance. You got to clinch all. And then I think if you go into it that way, if you really understand fighting and you really care about what's going on, it's just a matter of expressing yourself.
The 2 things that separate the men from the boys. in commentary, and I'm like, this is the honest truth to me, is number 2, and I will always text like you or Anik or something when there are a lot of knockouts early in a fight. I'll be like, how's it going? Because that's when it's like we have to fill all this time. Because what you understand in TV is they've booked a 2-hour TV show or 3-hour pay-per-view, whatever it is. They got to fill X amount of minutes, period. Doesn't matter what happens. So they either use fights that they've already used, or Jimmy, get up and interview this fighter, and we need 5 minutes like right now. So that's when the tap dancing happens. Is a lot of early knockouts. You have to fill a lot of time. That's tough. The second one is when you have a 25-minute snooze fest and you're going, I got to think of something. Those are the 2 parts that are really challenging. We already talked about how hard interviews are, but in terms of in commentary, those 2 are tough. When there are early knockouts or long, boring fights.
How about commentating for fights that you've never heard of the fighters, just a whole card with just a bunch of guys, rookies, back in 2001, 2002, just... And man, it was it wasn't fun.
And King of the Kings used to have 25 fights in a fucking night, man.
Something like that.
It used to be all fucking
I did
night,
a gladiator
dude.
challenge too.
Eddie,
for
do you
$250 bucks. $250 a show.
I paid more than that. Dude, Ted ripped me off. I got $200 a fight in the fucking thing.
Do you remember the Hitman show where they pretended they weren't real fights?
Oh my God, Babalu and Chael.
But there was real fights. There were real fights, but they were like, "Hey, we're filming a show.
You have to start in the beginning.
It's fake." So they got around the MMA rules by saying that it was like fake.
Yeah, movie.
It's a famous.
It's a movie.
It's a famous thing here in California for the listeners who weren't around. MMA wasn't legal. So what they did is that they pretended they were shooting a movie, and do you remember the cards for the fight said like Hitman the movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you remember that? And on the back it had the fight card on it, and it was a real fight card, but they pretended they were filming a movie.
Yeah.
And so the cops showed up and said, "Oh yeah, then who wins the fights if this is fake?" And that's why that night they just chose winners. Even it didn't matter who won. And so for a while, those people had goofy records until they eliminated him. This is a famous cow. Do you remember that? The cops showed up and they had to like, "Oh yeah, this is fake. Chael wins," or whatever. I forget who won, but they just raised his hand. Yeah. And even though he didn't win, and so the cops wouldn't bust everybody.
Wow.
But that's the famous Hitman show, Hitman the movie. I remember that.
Crazy.
Back in the day, dude.
Back in the day.
You know?
But listen, we got to wrap this up. But I just want to say that it's been real cool to be friends with you all these years while you were working for Bellator. It always meant a lot to me that you and I were never weird. Even though we were both doing the same job for other organizations, we were both really cool. I got you tickets to UFC before. We hung out a bunch of times. You did the podcast a bunch of times. And we would text back and forth all the time while fights were going on. I would text him when crazy Bellator fights are going on. He would text me when crazy UFC fights are going on. So like during the fight sometimes I'd be texting Jimmy. We'd be going back and forth. It meant a lot to me that we were tight. It did. And it means a lot to me now that you're at the UFC. I love it. Well, I'm very happy.
I wouldn't be there without you. I wouldn't. And I'm happy everybody knows that. I mean, it's like, you know, it's meant a lot to me that you reached out to me when I first left Bellator, and you said, "Keep your head up, man. You're the best." And I didn't know you knew who I was, and that's where everything started. And it was the first time I realized, man, people outside this bubble actually have any idea who I am. And you didn't have to do that, and it's meant a lot for years. And I'm just thrilled that it finally worked out, and we're in the same spot, man.
I'm so pumped.
You're an amazing dude, man. I really appreciate your support.
You are too, man, and you're really fucking good.
Thank you.
It means a lot to me because I'm a fan. You know, I like watching fights, and you call them fantastic.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
And Eddie Bravo, you're pretty beautiful too.
You're awesome too, Eddie.
Your face looks so amazing since you're not drinking.
Beautiful dude.
When are you getting your knee surgery?
That's a good question.
You said February?
Tony's got a fight coming up, so I'm going to wait till after that's over.
Oh, did they schedule something?
What?
A fight for Tony?
They're working on something.
Oh, okay. So you wouldn't be able to.
You heard it here first.
Did you just let something out of the bag?
No.
Something's going on?
Tony's a fighter. He's always working on a new fight.
So if you have your knee fucked up, you just won't be able to demonstrate techniques? Is that what it is?
If I have ACL
you'll end up
surgery,
doing it.
I think I'm going to be on crutches for 4 weeks or something. No?
Dude,
ACL?
I went to a party 5 days after my surgery. I didn't even
ACL?
wear
Really?
crutches.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I just put a knee brace on. 5 days afterwards.
I've never had ACL surgery, so I was just thinking it was going to be like 4 weeks of crutches.
If you get a cadaver graft, it's so non-invasive. It's fucking amazing.
I hear patella's the best.
No, I've had both. The cadaver's the best. The problem with the cadaver is some people say, nah, I've never heard that. I mean, it might.
It happened to Benji Raddick. He got a cadaver. Yep.
Yeah, but I think he just got an infection. I think he got MRSA.
I know exactly what happened because the knee doctor that did it, I know him. He's my doctor. He said that was the last time he did a cadaver because it got infected and it was really bad. So ever since then, he stopped doing cadavers. He just sticks to patella.
I have both. This one's patella. This one's cadaver. This one was way quicker healing, way less invasive, and neither one of them give me problems today. But I think if I had to do it again, I'd do cadaver.
Interesting. I'll look into it.
They also use a thicker tendon because they use the Achilles tendon. They use this big fat rope, and they stick that bad boy in there. It's 150% stronger than your natural ACL.
Damn, maybe I need to do that.
I would do that. 100%. I would do it. If you want, my guy, Gettleman, who did both my knees, he's amazing. He just did my buddy's shoulder, too. He's amazing. And he's out here. He's actually Simi Valley, and I think he has a place in Beverly Hills, too.
Cool.
But he does a lot of pro athletes.
Can't do shit till after that fight, so it's going to be a couple months.
Right. But if you just did it, did the surgery, you would still be able to coach him. You just wouldn't be able to do certain moves, and maybe you could bring someone like Marvin or one of your best guys.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
I don't think you should put it off.
You're right. I'm looking at it a whole different way now.
Yeah.
I should just fucking do it.
Just do it. Just do it because that 6 months that it'll take to rehab happens before you know it. But if you put it off, that 6 months happens before you know it too.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden 6 months later, you still have a fucked up knee and you haven't gotten the surgery.
It just went out on air.
Yeah, you can't.
And that
you gotta
looked,
get it.
That
get
looked
it
bad.
Get that shit fixed.
Yeah.
Get that shit fixed.
It didn't look like it was going to pop back in. The last 2 times it happened, it was really hard to pop back in. And I'm thinking, man, what if it gets stuck like this shit?
You won't be able to roll hard for 6 months, but the reality is you'll be able to do a lot of stuff before then, especially when you're showing, you're drilling and just showing, and there's no resistance.
Yeah.
You'll be able to do a lot pretty quick. As long as there's no resistance on your knee, you'll be able to do a lot like 3 months in. And you'll be doing, I'm sure you'll be doing a ton of rehab. You'll be on the ball with that shit. You know, you're going to be very.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, very disciplined.
I'm ready to get back to work, son.
I hear you, dog. All right. Let's wrap this bitch up. Jimmy Smith, thanks for doing this, brother. Welcome aboard.
Love you.
Love you too, man.
All right.
Eddie Bravo, love you too.
Hey, I'm releasing Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds 1. It happened about a month and a half ago on my YouTube tomorrow morning. It's free now.
Beautiful.
Don't miss it.
Beautiful. And the YouTube is just Eddie Bravo?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Twister Eddie, I think.
Okay. People will find it. They'll find it. All right, folks. Tomorrow, I got a double header. So we're starting with John Danaher at 8 a.m. See ya. Dude.